Do it sound crazy? Testing, testing, 1, 2. Okay, before I get started, I need to know if I sound echoey, if I sound right. Let me know if I'm too loud, if it sounds staticky. David, Queen Mai, could y'all hear me? America's the first sounds staticky. What sounds better, this? Or does that sound better? Are you sure it sounds right, David? Does this sound better? 1, 2. Or does this sound better? 1, 2. The first time or the second time? Does this sound better? This is the first time. Or does this sound better? This is the second. I don't know. For some reason, I don't think I sound right. Oh, I sound real clear. The second one, this is better. I sound better now? Or do this sound better? One, two, 1, 2. That sounds better? Or does this sound better? Does this sound better? Observe the facts. I don't know what is 1 or 2. Do I sound right now or earlier? One, 2. It sounds no good, right? This don't sound good, right? This don't sound good. Oh my God. It sounds better now? Now, okay. It sounds weird to me. I don't know, but if y'all say so. I'm just moving these buttons around. How about that? Does that make a better difference? Or does it sound staticky? 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh God. Da, 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 da. All right, y'all saying the sound right now. I'm waiting on Chief Holiday. He should be here any minute. But how's everybody doing? I'll cut my camera on as soon as he get his butt on this panel. How's everybody? Good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How is everybody doing? Everybody all right? Hey, Darvis. Happy Friday. Happy Father's Day. If I hadn't had a chance to say it to you, happy Father's Day. I don't know why this sound like it sound funny. I'm going to see. I'm going to check it myself on my cell phone, see how it sounds. Come on, Chief Holiday, with your late ass. Just got off the phone with him. See how it sounds. Come on, Chief Holiday. Oh, okay. Yeah, it do sound all right. Okay. I got it. Cool, cool, cool. Hey. All right. I'm about to call Chief with his late butt. Y'all know Negroes never are on time. Never. Shout out to everybody listening. Chief. Lord. Now y'all heard him. He said he coming right now. With his late butt. Here he come. So we're really gonna get into some good stuff. Really are. I'm straight up educational. I can't take all the other rhetoric. I can't. I can't. It just like when you work so long in the legal field and you hear what people are trying to accomplish and you know how it's done legally and people have other remedies for it, it just gets real warlike tactic instead of civil. I'm not used to uncivil stuff. I can't do it. And number one, you can't beat the United States government. You can't beat the United States government's army. You can't do it. Seriously. So, yeah. We gotta be real. Here we go. There we go. Hey, Chief. Your mic is what do you call it? Your mic is muted, Chief. If you're talking.
Peace, peace, peace. Sister Betty.
There you go. Hey, what's
Why
going
ya?
on? Oh
Hey.
yeah.
Mic check, mic
So
check. Can you hear me loud and clear?
yep, I hear you loud and clear.
That's what's up. How you doing?
Why don't you give the audience the importance of doing stuff civilly, and before we get into um the legal erasure of indigenous identity.
You say what? What do you want me to do?
Why don't you give them a little pep talk before I get into the lecture of the
I want to
erasure
say,
of the legal erasure?
okay, peace and paradise to all American Aborigines. Sahab in the building. How y'all doing today? Shout out to Sister Betty and the Waya Nation. Peace to the tribe, man. Um, yeah, man. I think this is very important. You know, a lot of times when we be talking about these terms, we're talking social terms. Black, white. These are not legal terms. So um, I think being erased legally is way worse than social erasure. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is a very important conversation. You guys, if you can, like, share, subscribe, share this on all your social media platforms. We about to go in on this information. Um, yeah, Sister Beth, I think this is very important. This is you know, pretty much the foundation of everything that we're talking about. If we want to get remedies, we want things done. So, also, I think, I know that we're not being erased legally. We're only being erased socially. So I think we're going to get into it tonight too. When we're breaking some of this stuff down, they want you to believe that you are being erased legally, but you're not. So yeah, let's get into it. Because we are the only Americans. Um, Everybody else are immigrants to this country. We are the Aborigines of this land. So I think that if you understand that, and that's the foundation of your knowledge, then I think everything else will come easy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm really excited. Shout out to Sister Betty for inviting me. Um, Come on and share with you guys what we have discovered. You know what I'm saying? So, peace to you, Sister Betty. Shout out to everybody. I can't
Okay,
see the
and I
chat. Right.
also, oh, can you see me now, Chief?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna cut my camera on, but I do, I really appreciate you joining me on the panel today. And during this segment, Chief, please feel free to ask me to stop and pause so you could correct anything that you think might not be accurate. And I don't know why my picture is not showing, but I need to fix that. Why my avatar just disappeared, openly disappeared. Let me see, which one do I want up? I think I want this one up with the happy face. So, wow, I've been there for a minute and people are still coming in. I know people are at work or whatever have you, whatever have you. But I love y'all and we'll just, you know, keep going. And keep going. All right. So, what I want to say, you guys, is first, we want to talk about the history of racial classification in America. So, to understand the racial misclassification, we have to start at the beginning, or at least at the beginning of the government's obsession with categorizing human beings by race. And Chief, like I said, you can stop me anytime you want. The United
Well,
States Census had collected racial. Okay, go ahead.
well, I just want to point out, right, that all this is based off of the out of Africa hypotheses, which comes from the theory of evolution, which we know that's all eugenics. So if you understand that's the basis of this or whatever, to go to, and that has an origin, and that has a date as well. So when we get into the miseducation of the American Aborigines, the American Negroes. So I just wanted to point that out before we get into this, because we're always going to fall back to that, like everything that they're talking about, or just the racial categories, come from that. And race is a social construct that's new, and they're writing these terms back in time, and we're going to prove that tonight. That if you're in 19, the Racial Integrity Act, I know we're going to go there with Walter Plecker and stuff, right? But they're writing terms back in time. Because they're writing, we're reading things that are written in the 20th century about the 18th, 17th, 16th century, for instance, right? From their perspective. So they're writing their perspective, their story back in time to control the narrative today. You understand what I'm saying, Sister Bethy?
Yep, I
So it's
do.
all psychological warfare, and this is the origin of it. We're going to get into it tonight. So shout out to you.
Okay. So the United States Census has collected racial data since 1790, but the categories used and the criteria for placing people in them have shifted dramatically over time, almost always in ways that serve political and economic interests rather than reflecting the truth of people's identities. For indigenous people, when I say indigenous, I mean the Aborigines, the Americans, the only Americans. So, for the indigenous people, the history of classification is particularly painful. In the 1800s and early 1900s, birth registration was inconsistent and unevenly enforced. State and county registers, often with no training, no standardized guidance, and deeply racial biases, were responsible for the recording race on birth certificates. The result, indigenous individuals were routinely recorded as colored, Negro, other, mulatto, or simply white, depending on where they lived, what they looked like, and who was going to do the recording. And I want to absolutely be clear about this. These were not honest mistakes in most cases. They were the product of a system that in many ways was not built to see indigenous people as indigenous. A system shaped by what we now call today the one drop rule, the informal but powerful enforced idea that any person with African ancestry should be classified as black, regardless of all other heritage. So, indigenous people with mixed ancestry often found themselves caught in this web, classified by the racial anxieties of the state rather than by the truth of their own nations and communities. So, the federal government did not formalize racial classification for administrative statistics until 1977, with the issuance of the Office of Management Budget Statistical Policy Directive number 15, formerly titled Race and Ethics Standards for Federal Statistics and Administrative Reporting. This directive created the first standardized racial categories for all federal data collected. It established four racial categories. This is in 77. American Indian or Alaskan Native, Asian or Pacific Islander, black and white, plus one ethnicity category for Hispanic origin. And the source for that, you can get that from the Office of Management and Budget. And that was in September 1977. This was in some ways progress. American Indian or Alaska Native was finally an official name category in federal records. But here's the critical problem. Directive number 15 applied going forward. Decades of existing birth records, death certificates, hospital records, and ancestry documents already existed, and many of them contained incorrect racial designations for indigenous individuals. Those old, wrong records did not magically fix themselves. So, I want to say, I want you to really sit with the weight of what racial misclassification actually does to a person, to a family, to a community, because this is not an abstract bureaucratic inconvenience. The consequences are real, they are significant, and for many people, they compound across an entire lifetime. Okay, so I'm gonna stop that. That was something that I put together, but now I'm gonna do a share screen because I want you guys to understand this. And Chief, when I'm doing this share screen, feel free
Mhm.
to, you know, chime
So
in and tell me,
I
just
want to
pause.
address some stuff that you said right there. It's definitely dope. I want to start out
Okay.
with the census, right? You said that the census goes back to 1790, right? Well, from 1870 back, were all reconstructed, or all facsimiles, right? Not according to me, according to them, because the Library of Congress, as well as the National Archives, were burnt down several times, and these things were rewritten. So they're writing terms like black and white back in time, right? Now, when pale skin say that white is in 1790, this is further continuation. Like I'm saying, this is them writing themselves into history, right? Now, black and white, according to law, it's not legal. So anytime you hear black or white, now your nationality is. So we start talking to Asian Islanders and blah blah blah. You start getting into nationality, right? We were taken away from our nationalities with these reclassifications. American Indians, that's us, right? But we have already, prior to 1977, already been reclassified, you guys, for over 50 years.
Oh yeah,
Several times by
most
1977. So
definitely.
I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, so when we're talking about these,
Yeah, when I speak of 1977, Chief, I'm sorry, I should have told this to the chat. When we talk about 1977, that's when they start letting the Indians on the reservations be citizens and have protected, be citizens, actual citizens of the United States.
right,
You know, they
they're
were
talking about them. They're not
on
talking about us.
sovereign land, but it's like they have dual United States and on their reservations, right,
Keyword
Chief?
reservations. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Absolutely right. Keyword reservations,
That's
not their
who
homeland.
they allowed to. Right. Oh my God. Do my mic sound right, Chief?
Excuse me?
Do it sound funny? Do my mic
No, you
sound
sound
funny
good.
or do it sound loud and clear? All right.
No, you sound loud
I'll
and clear on
believe
mine.
you. All right. Let me share this screen. And again, Chief, feel free to stop me
Now you
so we
cooking.
can
Let's get them.
line break. Okay. So the legal erasure of indigenous identity, how federal and state laws rewrote our existence. Okay. Federal harm, state harm, modern consequences. A breakdown for we the people. So the opening frame, what every reader must understand first. You got to understand this first. America operates under two overlapping systems of power. Federal power, the second one is state power. All right. So under federal power, you have the treaties, Indian policy, constitutional protections, federal courts, and Section 1983 remedies. And we'll go over 1983 because I want to get in depth. That's a whole segment by itself. That's a federal law section. Well, it's under the 14th Amendment. So under state power, okay, look at the big differences. Under state power comes the racial laws, the vital records, census classification, local enforcement, and birth certificates. So you see how that is, how that go, Chief?
Yes, ma'am.
So
What is this document right here
these
come
two
from?
systems, huh?
Where does this document right
All,
here come from?
all the all of this is on archives. The all the resources on the last page of this. All the resources.
So, but I'm saying that this is
And
all new um, data, new classifications.
no, no. This is all information that's on National Archives. I go and pull
Right.
this shit out,
See,
screen.
remember,
Oh,
remember, I said the National Archives was burnt down several times, right?
right.
So what we're seeing now are all facsimiles, according to them. So they're writing. So I'm saying that all this new stuff from 1870 back is reconstructed history.
Mm,
It gets deep, and so they're writing
right.
terms like black and white back in time to rob us of our identity. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, you guys are black. If
Yes.
it's black Americans, then right, then somebody could just be Americans, and we
So,
continue to, I'm saying, identify through um, data, new classifications.
no,
I don't know what is
no, no,
echoing
no,
on.
no, no, no. This is all information that's on National Archives. I no,
Echoing.
no,
Oh
no, no, no. This is all information that's on
shit.
Nat. Okay, so I can keep going,
I just want to
Chief.
point that out. Like, yes, ma'am. I just want to point that out that anything from the National Archives right now, we gotta break it down and examine it because it's all been rewritten in facsimile to fit their
Right.
narrative on purpose. This is all a part of an elaborate scheme to rob us, the Tories, to rob us of our identity, rob us of our heritage, our land. And it has worked in the last 125 years. See what I'm saying?
Correct.
So that's the only thing. Like when
Correct.
we're pulling these things up, we have to know that the National Archive has been compromised. Period, as well as the Library of Congress, which is the origin of everything that even our laws that come from the Library of Congress and the National Archives, and that's why we're in a disadvantage. So when we're challenging these things, we have to challenge it uh, linguistically, legally.
Federally.
You know what I mean? So this is very important
Right.
to reconstruct this stuff. So I'm not saying that we're not shouldn't go through this. I'm saying when we do it, we definitely have to dissect it because they have done it in a way to to fit the whole narrative. But the National Archives, like
Okay.
we can look that up. It's an easy Google search. How many times has the National Archives and Library of Congress been burned down? And we've done those shows and broke all that stuff down. Um, even after they made it flame retardant, they still burnt it down. But then they literally whitewashed pictures. You understand?
Yep.
This is so people say, well, how did they take over? This is the origin of how they took over. So
Okay. So we talked about the two overlapping systems of power, the federal power and the state power. Now, understand that the state is what did the harm to you. Your state that you reside in, and your racial classification harm took place at birth. When you were born, they gave you a state racial classification. That is not your origin. So these two systems collided in the 1800s, and indigenous identity became the casualty. Jackson's 1830 address equals the turning point. President Andrew Jackson told Congress, okay, This is in 1830, and this is a fact. This is primary source. His address to Congress is primary source information. And he said if they remain within the limits of the states, they must be subject to the laws of the state and will be merged in the mass of its population. That one sentence right there removed federal protection. It empowered states, erased tribal identity on paper, and created the legal environment for racial reclassification, which is all state harm. And in order to get the protections from state harm, you must, and I can't begin to tell you this, you must go to federal court. But the thing is, and I need to take this down for 1 second so I can turn my camera on and tell you this. In order, you want to make it the weight heavy. In order to exercise your protected rights on the federal level, you must be able to present state harm. Your state harm began at birth, and I don't care what your damn race is. If you have black, white, colored on your family history census sheets and on your birth certificates, that is state harm. That's one. All those documents that you have, marriage certificates, death certificates, okay? Birth certificates. Number two, to make it stick even harder, what you can do, what I strongly, what I think you should do is first get a denial from either a local municipality where they keep your birth certificates when you go in to correct your race identity, and they deny you. And this is rare because usually local municipalities and state vital statistic office don't deny you for correcting your race on your birth certificate. They normally don't. They don't. They really don't. They don't give a tutti frutti. But if you go and and you have your original identity, like American Indian or Aborigine, you can have that done. The thing is, if you're denied by a state vital statistics or state registry or local municipal registry, you can go to federal court because that's state harm. It is state harm if you're denied. Most of the time, they don't deny you. Now, some states don't even have race on birth certificates. So you guys, there's no need for you to go to get racial correction on birth certificates if there's no race. They did not racially identify you because there's no race on the birth certificate. But your other documents prove your identity. The marriage certificates of your ancestors, which would be great-great-grand people, death certificates, their birth certificates if they were born in like 1908, because that's when birth certificates really started being generated from the different states, and also census sheets. Birth. So you got marriage, death, birth, yours. It got to be fixed. And people say, well, we all the same. No, we're not. No, we're not. And that goes for white people too. Because you didn't have a white baby. You had a Irish baby, a French baby, a German baby, a Dutch baby, a Jewish baby. That's what you want in race. Black and white are not races. Those are not races. 50 to 100 years from now, you want your grandchildren or future grandchildren to know where they came from. That's family genealogy. Why would an evil person want to erase your history? A lot of people today like to go to their countries of origin, even though they've never been there. They're, you know, more accustomed to the United States, but they like to go back and say, well, my grandmother lived in Ireland. I would like to go and she lived at what it looks like now. They take those trips on vacation. So if you got white on the birth certificates 50, 60 years later, they're not going to know where the hell to go. Yeah, and I understand that it's verbal passing down history. We do have that. Okay, I know I'm Irish because my mom told me and my dad, but damn, make it official on paper for yourself and for your
I
future
love it.
generations.
Cooking, cooking.
So that goes the same for us. We're all not the same people from the same places. Now, this does not mean that I have anything against Africans. I don't. But damn it, that's not where my family is from. I can't begin to tell you that we as children in the 70s, we didn't know what Africans were until we saw them on commercials. I'm telling Africans back in 1970 playing in front of our community with us. We did not know. Hell, me, I didn't even know what a Jamaican was until I moved to Hartford because I was in such a closed community in Bridgeport, Connecticut. When I came to Hartford and I seen women or some men walking down the street with like British accents, I really thought that these brown skinned people that favor me were making fun of the way British people speak. But my mother said, no, that's Jamaican. I did not know. But my mother, she lived in Hartford before I did. So I'm telling you the God's honest truth. So I don't want to be clumped in a ball with other races of people who I don't have any connection with, and I'm not from their country. And they know I'm not. Even real Africans know I'm not from their country. So why am I going to claim a landmass that I know absolutely nothing about, including my mom and grandmom, my oldest aunt, who's like 90 something? They know who the hell their grandparents are, and they know what they were formerly called. And they also know that they were not permitted to say what their race were back in the South because they got hung if they told. But today it's different. We can now correct this. We have protections now. Back then, we didn't have the protections. You said you were Indian back then, you were getting hung or killed or burned or whatever. Today, it's different. We have protected rights now. Back then, when we didn't go to Oklahoma, we had no protected rights. We had to fight for those. So now, what I say is seriously, I don't have anything against Africans, but I'm not African. I don't know like one African. I'm telling you, back as a kid. And I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I'm from Africa somewhere. No, I'm not. I'm not taking no corny entertainment ass DNA test because that's crap. I won't do it. For what? I'm indigenous and I'm an American and I'm a damn proud American. My family, I can't begin you on both sides fought in the armed service. My families were vets. My brothers and my uncles, all of them are vets. They fought in the American Revolutionary War. How about that? We have the dog tags. So why the hell am I going to lie and say I'm from Africa when the reclassification information are on the war records, on draft records, and shit like that? Colored. That's the first thing that they reclassified Indians that didn't go to Oklahoma and they, fell under state jurisdiction. All of my family's draft records, great grandfathers, great uncles, my father, everybody's war records say colored. My dad's, and he was born in 1944, but his
Oh,
draft record says colored. Go ahead,
hey,
Chief. You got it,
so
man. Hey,
so sis,
curious.
even in 1977, we wasn't classified as African Americans. I just want to point that out.
Hell no, that was in
In
1988.
1977. Right. So in
Correct. It was color and Negro.
1967, 1947, 1937. So we gotta reverse engineer this, right? But what's happening is they're writing terms like African American back in time to erase us.
Right.
That's the problem with these new
Correct.
edition books. So we're reading books that
Correct.
are written to miseducate us, to make us inferior psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, economically. You understand what I'm saying? It's, oh, you guys came from nothing when we built this. This is everything. Jurisprudence, science, math, civilization comes from North America to the rest of the world. From us. We are the inventors of it. That doesn't make sense for us to fall back when we are still the engine that drives the planet Earth. Now, it would be different. Now, if we could even see this even with the little boycotts that's going on with the Asians and stuff like that, how it affects them, their bottom line, because we're their economic engine, right? Now imagine just this is not being xenophobic, but just being you want to preserve your identity, you want to preserve your heritage, our communities, right? This all this crime and stuff, it affects us more. Like we live, in these communities. We're our babies, our young men are targeted in these communities by each other. You understand what I'm saying? So there's things that we definitely have to deal with, right? Internally. But the economic disparity is when you have economic issues, you have crime, you have these things, right? So it's imperative that we start handling our business as Americans. And so that's another thing. If you don't see America as your home, you're just a lost person. And that was the culture 10, 15 years ago. Now people saying they foundational here at the minimum to that we're aborigines from here. We've been here. We're the civilization givers, the mound builders to the planet. So I don't understand the disconnect. I really don't, Sister Becky, other than the miseducation of our people, um, the continued psychological warfare that's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I could actually see that's happening. Reward these things right here, right? And they'll follow that. That's the only thing I can see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's our fault that we're
Right.
not building internally. So we're not building in our communities. We're not stopping the crime in our own communities. See what I'm saying? So these are the conversations that men have to have, Sister Betty. You know what I'm saying? And not online. These are uncomfortable conversations. So
They are uncomfortable conversations, and the frustration and and the frustration in my family's with my when my granny, she passed away, and my aunt and my mom. My mom was born in 1944. I mean 48, and my dad was born in 44. And I even tried to trick them. My dad is now deceased, but I tried to trick them, and ask them just to see if there's a possibility that somebody came from Africa on a slave ship. And I would say things, to my granny, like, well, when when your great grandmother came on a slave ship from Africa, do you remember her name? And the look that my grandmother, she's like, and she, my grandmother had a real potty mouth. That's where I get it from, and I can't help it. The look on my granny's face, like, where the hell? What you wait? Now just think about it. Yes, that's my grandma with her cigarette, her cool, strong ass cigarette, Indian, straight up. She look at me Wait a damn minute. We ain't from no Africa. Where the hell you get that from? And a lot of people whose genealogy I do, and they bring in their elderly relatives, and I experience this in a lot of people's genealogy that I do all over United States, in Zoom. And, I have like whole families in here and we're building this tree. And the elder person is the one I have to literally make the family shut up because they always try to make it seem like the elderly person in the room can't remember shit. And I literally have to check them at the door in some of these meetings. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm not going to say their name, but I'll give it a fake name. Miss Lula has all her sound mind. And I asked them, do you know I realize Miss Lula is 93, but then I'll ask someone that's my age that's trying to speak for her when they weren't born when she was born and say, wait, do you know who your great grandmother is? I'll ask them. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so do you think that Miss Lula might know her great grandma too? I said, so please let her talk because she's going to help me get back as far as I can, being 93 years old. Shit, I know my great grandmother. So if I know my great, she is more than likely, because they lived longer back then, they know their great grandmas. And if you look on the census sheet and it asks where your mother and father was born, or they tell them South Carolina, North Carolina, whatever state. So that puts them here during so-called a time, too much going on in 1865 for them to be dragging people out of Africa on chains and slave ships. This bullshit story. I don't understand why white people don't step up and say, look, and a lot of them are now. A lot of them are now stepping up saying, look, I fucking came here in the 1900s. I don't know anything about no slave ships, or my parents were not slave owners or all this other shit. And then when you look further back in history, you see the slave owner is your damn great grandfather owning all the kids on the plantation who are his grandkids and wives and family. We called slavery. That's what it was called. Today, the name has changed. It's called head of household. Back then, they were called, the head of household was identified as master. And 2-1 being in the South, your master was your daddy. But today it sounds better. It's called head of household. So
Who the master?
in my household, me, who paying the damn bills? The master. Hello? So we got to be very careful to these people that a lot of people. Now, here's the thing. When you're speaking with people born in the 1990s, okay, they went to school in the early 90s, right? In the mid 90s. So now they're like 34, 30, 35 years old. All right. It's difficult for them to see life like we seen it in the 70s, because now you're in 1992 and you're a millennial. So when people literally say that today that they are African American, I guess it's okay to start believing some of them, because there are Africans here now, and there are Africans that go to public elementary schools now and high schools. So the guy you're sitting next to in a class in kindergarten, preschool, first grade, second grade, 12th grade, he might be an African, but he's culturally like Americans because he's been in the school system and he sounds like us, but they ain't us, because it's when he go home, they're speaking their Ngobi language. So everybody that you think is you really ain't you, especially if you're talking about and debating with people born in the 90s who would be like Bap's age. A lot of them did have little African students in that class, but we didn't. And so we got to be
That's
careful.
a fact.
Some people are really African, seriously, but they act and talk like us because culturally they've been around with us and they've adopted our ways. And a lot of them, you know, that they're African, really African, because they get shy and like turn their eyes and, you know, they feel shame, so they won't say nothing. But you got to be careful. So when I say all of us are not the same just because we have this brown copper skin, and by the way, I'm tanned. I've been sitting in the sun in front of my house. All of us, just because we're brown skinned, and that's the most arrogant thought that a lot of people that come here think that we're the same. No, I don't know anything about Africa. Matter of fact, my family ain't come on no damn slave ships. We already been here where this is our land. Secondly, I'm going to take it a step further. Me, I ain't never been on no damn airplane and I ain't getting on one. I'm sorry. I've never been to another country. I love my own country, America. Other people have gone to other countries, but I find no interest in other countries. Now, one day, I'll get the balls because I'm going to Korea and Japan. I don't care what y'all say. They got all the good looking guys there. But I have not gone on an airplane. America is my land. I love America. I don't think I could ever love any other country but my country. My family have gotten sick and fought in wars in this land, this reserved the land. You know, I got uncles that died of Agent Orange. They was in that war, Chief. You got any family that fought in the war where they had the Agent Orange going on and shit?
Yes, ma'am.
You have family members that had that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I remember
You know,
my
a lot of
uncles, they
family was
came home
drafted.
sick. Yeah.
Came home with drug
Yeah.
problems, all that.
Yeah.
Brought all that back
My
home.
uncle was yeah, my mother's brothers, and they went in, they got drafted very young. My uncle was 17 when they drafted him, and he went out there, and it did something to him being 17 years old, and him and my cousin, my grandmother's son. So you got two sister sons in the same place, and they came home with the same disease, the Agent Orange.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And my father, he suffered shell shock. So my father was a vet. He suffered shell shock. He was in bad war too. He was born in 44. And, you know, it really did something to him being over in the war all the way to his death. You know, it was real rough, you know, seeing my father, you know, melt away like that. I had to call the fire engines. You know, they was coming out to my house like 2 to 3 times a week when he got sick. But, you know, my father caught cancer, and he would think that he was in war. So he would be on the floor with his damn guns. And I'm like, how the hell did he get his guns? Every time we take one, he had so many guns. And I would have to leave work because my neighbor called me, and oh God, it was just a mess. The fire engines came and they said, all right, Miss Giles, I'm sorry, your father has to have 24-hour care. I had to put my dad in a vet home because he was on the ground. I don't know how them fire engines. And I'm just so glad my daughter didn't come home from school because she was about 11 at that time, and he could have killed her, but he was in shell shock with his gun on the ground. So the fire engines, they knew how to talk him down. You know, I told him his name, and they knew how to talk him down, and they told him they got his cover. They was talking to him like he was in the service. It was just crazy. And I was just glad because my baby could have been dead. And that would have just took him out if he had came to and found out that he hurt his grandbaby. So it's rough raising a vet that suffers post-traumatic stress disorder. So yeah, I'm getting all off the topic, but I'm just proud to be an American. How about you, Chi?
USA, USA, hey, I'm a proud American. You know what I mean?
Hell
So
yeah.
no place, and I've lived in other countries, and no place like home.
That's right.
It's the
You
best
sure
country on the
did. You was
planet.
a that's right. You was a traveling baby, right?
Yes, ma'am. So, but here's the thing, though, right? This was interesting, and it's just something to think about, right? So, Norway, they have the World Cup in the United States, right? Norway shipped their food here for their athletes because our foods are banned in their country. Banned,
Yeah. Yep.
banned,
I'm hearing that. Yeah.
and they don't want to put the poisons that they feed Americans for these cancers and these things, whatever. Like, so all this just ties back into right and exact knowledge of self opens up so many doors to what I mean, to solving these issues. You know what I'm saying? But there's a problem. Like when you have our RFK, who's over um, the USDA and over, this guy was put in there. It's mandate. Like, this is going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to get into Keyshawn Johnson, number 19. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into any of that. Um, but these things, the food, the plastics. I just heard like anybody like green tea and tea, you drink tea, that you're putting toxic plastic, microplastics in your body. You're ingesting plastics in your body when you're just making tea. You know what I'm saying? So just in the foods, all the poison stuff, these people said, no, we're not going to feed our athletes that while they're over in America. We're going to ship their food from Norway. Diabolical. I think
Who is oh
huh?
I'm sorry. That's Tayshawn in the chat. I'm gonna let Tayshawn on.
Tayshawn, the Confederate Don.
That's who it
Peace
better
to
be. I
God,
think it is
shout out to
Tayshawn. If
everybody.
you're talking to Amaru, Carolina, that gotta be him. But there it is, Tayshawn.
Terrible.
My bad. So let's get back to this little thing right here, Chief, where we talk
Yes, ma'am.
about where this reclassification originated from. It started at the federal level with Andrew Jackson. And I can't begin to tell you that his address to Congress and moving forward to do this was at the federal level, and the state took action. Okay. So let me get back to, let me let Tayshawn on. Is that you, Tayshawn? Tayshawn, your mic muted. Is that you? Oh, damn. I want to make sure it's Tayshawn. Your mic is muted, Tayshawn. Let me know if that's you. Is that you? I can't hear him. He'll write me in the back. Let me know when your mic is okay. Oh, he's in the private chat. Let me see. Because I don't want to get porn, but I can't hear anything. Hold on. Oh, okay. Let me
I
know.
think it is.
Is that you,
I should be
Tayshawn?
good now. I should be good now. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic.
Oh, yeah, that's Tayshawn. Okay, yep.
Tayshawn.
We got you.
Okay. Peace.
So we can hear you. All right. So let's move to the federal harm part of it. Jackson's 1830 policy, the root. That's the root of it right there. What Jackson told Congress December 6, 1830, he announced that Indians must either remove west or become subject to state law. Merged in the mass of the population, he signaled that the federal government would not protect tribal sovereignty and that states were free to classify indigenous people however they wished. I'm going to just mute Tayshawn's mic.
Hey, yeah, Tayshawn, you got a lot of
Chief?
wind back there. Might want to mute up. Hey, Sister Betty, I got to point out a couple things. right? In 1830, were there African Americans?
Oh shoot. Okay, something wrong with Tayshawn background. I don't know. His
And
mic was muted. Go ahead,
so
Chief.
in 1830, right? Were there African Americans in 1830?
No, there were no African Americans in 1830. That word was not used, nor were there.
What
It,
what
it, it
about
just wasn't
what
something
about
that was
Native
spoken of.
Americans? What about Native Americans?
No, that didn't come until 1977.
Okay. So Native Americans, African Americans wasn't in 1830, correct? Now,
Correct. That all came later.
got you. So when we're talking about terminologies like the word Indian, right? It's a descriptive term of Negroes in 1830. But the problem is when this was written, we don't have
Something's
what
wrong with
Andrew
Tayshawn's
Jackson
mic.
them was writing in 1830. We have what they were writing in the 20th century about 1830. And even what they when they wrote this, it was still describing Negroes as Indians in 1830. I just want everybody to understand this. Indians are Negroes, period. We're not going back and forth. We're not going to go back and forth. That's one of the reclassifications. But that classification happened in the 1900s. They just wrote that classification back in 1830 as Indians. Indians are not Native Americans. Indians are Negroes. And we can get into the terminologies and whatever. The legal term of Indian, who that is the indigenous people of this land, aka the Aborigines of this land. Okay, that's the legal terminology of Indian, not your feelings, not the three card Monty, um, uh, all the stuff that they making up that don't make any sense. Now, when we talk about these states and the people who founded the states and what the states were named after going west, Oklahoma, for instance, is literally in Colorado, literally named after copper colored people. Like, I don't understand why we have to have these conversations. And copper colored people are already in these territories 200 years prior, 1,000 years prior to that, but cities hundreds of years prior to the fucking 1900s, y'all. So it's just as crazy for people to have these conversations. These territories wasn't states yet. They wasn't states until late 1800s. Texas didn't become a state to 1840, what, 5 or some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
what are we talking about? So and Negroes were in Texas already prior to 1830. So
Yep.
we're looking at these time frames in a 20th century, some of us even a 21st century lens or a eugenic lens, which was rewritten for a reason. These things were rewritten. What Andrew Jackson, even the people that they want you to think that they were talking about in 1830, you know what I'm saying? You're thinking it's somebody else. Well, no, it's you. And so that's what I just want to point out, Sister Betty, that what we're reading, I'm going to stand by this every time anything coming out of the National Archives or the Library of Congress right now today, according to them, is a
Mm-hmm.
facsimile. It is not the original, according to them, not according to Supreme Chief Holiday, according to these people, that they changed this several times. And it fits their whole eugenic narrative, which we push back on. So, Sister Betty, you cooking with grease. Family, a house of servants, a house of slaves, enslavement. We are the land owners. We're the masters of this land, and we've been tricked out our spot through sharecropping, through taxation, without representation, and that's what we want remedy for. But we got to stop being lazy. Americans have to stop being lazy. It's not a black white thing. Americans have to stop being lazy. That's what I say. So, shout out to Sister Becky. Like I
Facts.
said, you cooking. You definitely cooking.
Tayshawn, did you want to say something before I start reading again? Oh, he's probably all right. He could cut in when he get ready. So we talked about the root of the problem happening in 1830 with Andrew Jackson's address to Congress of what he was going to do. And then B, why this is federal harm. Okay. It set national policy, withdrew federal protection, empowered states to erase identity, created the legal conditions for paper genocide. And C, the first legal injury. The federal government created the conditions for harm. Now, the federal government didn't give the racial classification, but they created the conditions for the harm. The states carried out the actions of harm. So, state harm, how states executed the erasure. After Jackson's message, states passed laws to abolish tribal governments, seize tribal land, criminalize tribal authority, forbid indigenous testimony, force indigenous people under state racial codes, collapse Indian into colored, mulatto, Negro, or black. State racial caste systems replace tribal identity legal castes. White, Negro, mulatto, colored, free persons of color, not ethnic descriptions. And the purpose to eliminate sovereignty, seize lands, prevent identity claims, force assimilation, and erase indigenous presence east of the Mississippi. And I think I'm going to stop there and see who wants to tune in, and I want to let Tayshawn back on because I think he's back there again. There he goes. You there, Tayshawn?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a mic sound.
Awesome. Yep. It sounds better now. Did you want to say anything, Chief, or can I keep going? Or Tayshawn?
Nah, keep going.
Okay. So now, number 4, how the census participated in the erasure. So 1850 to 1950 census instructions. Enumerators were told to use white, black, or mulatto and list Indian only if the person lived on a reservation or was taxed. Result, indigenous families recorded as colored, mulatto, Negro, black, white, or other. Facts. That's what they did. The Indian that had more European features, they called them white. But if some of these mean registers knew this person that had more of the white European features and you think that they were white, the mean register would say, I know your grandmother, and you trying to claim yourself to be white when you're Indian. They did that. And they would put them down as colored. Facts. The census became an administrative tool of state racial policy, following state law, not tribal identity. So the legal definitions that erase indigenous people from the 1600s to the 1900s. Mulatto, any male of non-white ancestry, included indigenous people not entirely white. Colored, catch-all caste for all non-white people, used to erase Indian identity on paper. Negro, black, used to collapse indigenous identity into the black caste and deny land or rights. That's what it was used for. Free persons of color included indigenous families outside reservations, erased Indian identity without calling them Negro. Why this matters? Because there was no federal law reclassifying Indians. States used their own racial caste systems to absorb indigenous people into non-white categories. These labels were administrative, not ancestral. Number 6, timeline of paper genocide, 1600s to 1950s. So from the 1600s to the 1700s, and when you say 1600s, you're only talking about Virginia, and let me see, what other states were there, because there weren't that many in the 1600s. It was Virginia, and I think Mass and Connecticut was established. States created racial caste systems, mulatto and colored, defined broadly. And in 1830, Jackson removed federal protection. States began aggressive reclassification. Then in 1850 to 1880, census records race off reservation indigenous listed as colored, mulatto, or black. So when we're seeing all these census sheets with our families and you see colored, mulatto, and black, like in the late 1800 census, some of our parents were great grandparents were born in those years, and their records do show colored, for the most part, colored. 1890 to 1930, blood quantum categories appear. Indian recognized only with federal affiliation. In the 1950s, American Indians become clearer in census, but the damage is done. It's done. Hey, none of your business, Lady Moon. Smoke. Hey, Smoke Signal. I see you. Raymond Granderson, 1983. Rodney. Hey, everybody. Okay. Modern consensus. Modern consequences. Birth certificate correction. A misclassification is state harm. Do you understand that? You understand that, Chief? When it comes to birth certificate, misclassification is state harm.
Mm-hmm. That's the doc. The paperwork is the damn smoking gun. We don't supposed to be there.
Yep.
You're violating our constitutional, right?
Right. Yep.
That is state harm.
We shouldn't be enumerated, taxed, any of that. But because we've been misclassified, we don't know who we are. And then we check boxes.
Right.
That put us in a nothing burger land.
It seems
why nothing's happening in the past 60 years, 70 years, because we've been supporting 96%. And it's just the realest thing ever. The Democratic machine.
right.
Period. Now, I'm an independent person, so I don't have to, just because I don't, I can independently say, you know what, there's a candidate right there that's under the Democratic thing, but it's good for this community. You see what I'm saying? Local stuff. We got to be a little bit more sophisticated in our conversations, even politics. And if you're not as politically astute, meaning you only, read the newspapers or watching the news, which is definitely misleading you, you know what I'm saying? Then you might not, need to be talking politics. See what I'm saying? And everything that we're talking about, even correcting the misclassifications, the miseducation, stuff like that, it's all political. You see what I'm saying? To take certain things on what they're taking miseducation, like slavery, out of the books, right? Because I'm from Mississippi, for instance, but I'm in the South doing real research, right? Not just what's online, but real research. Well, if these people are not in the South until after Reconstruction, how do you own Negroes in the South? That doesn't make any sense.
No,
how are
it
you
doesn't.
just getting right? None of this makes sense. But the false history that has been taught, Christopher Columbus, blah, 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 all this fake stuff makes no sense. So we have to be careful, though, of anything that's written by these people, because they rewrote it to fit the narrative that they're pushing. That doesn't make any sense. So absolutely,
Right.
This is the origin of it, Sister Bethy, how we started to pretty much, through the educational system, started capitulating to things that grandparents wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes, yes,
even
yes,
when they start
indubitably.
saying it was segregated units, well, because it was more of us, or you know what I'm saying? We why as we see now, we have no infrastructure. Everybody else do. That just got to this country. There's a reason for that. It was a plan. So
Yeah.
all this is tied in together. Absolutely.
So modern consequences. Birth certificate correction. A. Misclassification is state harm. Wrong racial labels, forced labels, refusal to write in, denial of corrections, outdated racial codes. B. States cannot assume African ancestry. No African birthplace, percentage, surnames, ship records, or migration history, multi-generation U.S. birth, census listed African born separately. And that's a fact. See, our documents show American lineage, indigenous reclassification, no African origin, multi-generational continuity. So this supports birth certificate correction, identity restoration, historical accuracy, and legal remedy. So understand this. States cannot, and that's true. States cannot assume African ancestry just because our skin is brown, especially if you're already here, right? And somebody who immigrated here, they can't assume you're from Africa. That won't work. Oh, that's Chief. That will truly not work. So correction, I support correcting so that it's understood who we are. Only we can fix that. Only we can fix that. And you have to take it on an individual basis, but only if your local municipality or state vital statistics deny you. Then you would have to file a lawsuit in federal court to get the protection you need. And that protection would be to correct your true racial identity. Hi, Rumi. Now, number 8, the 2016 terminology change, modern confusion. In 2010, during Obama's presidency, the U.S. Census Bureau announced it would keep the term Negro on the 2010 census, but will remove it afterward. Now, understand this. Listen, this was a Census Bureau administrative decision, not a law. Do y'all understand? Please give me a 1 if you understand that. That was a Census Bureau administrative decision. It was not a law. Then in 2013, the Census Bureau officially removed the term Negro from all future federal surveys. This happened under the Obama administration. That was an administrative decision, not a law. Why it wasn't a law? Because it would have been constitutional to do that to the indigenous people. This happened under the Obama administration, which is why people associate it with him. But again, it's not a law. It's not an executive order. It was a federal agency decision made during Obama's presidency. HR 4238, Modernization of Terms Act 2016, removed Negro, Oriental, Spanish speaking, replaced with African American, Asian American, Hispanic, and Native American. So that's why you see like people like the Pequots calling themselves Native Americans now, because that was the only box to check. But I truly believe in my heart, if American Indian was a selection, the Pequots and all other tribes would select American Indian, not Native American, because Native American is not even in the damn Constitution. Let's just keep that a buck. The only race that the United States Constitution even mentions, I'm going to take this down for a minute and put my camera on. When you look in the United States Constitution, the United States Constitution only mentions one race of people on that entire Constitution. Indians. That's it. Nothing else. It don't mention white people, black people, Puerto Ricans. It just says Indians. And it says Indian not tax. And those are for the Indians that are on the reservation.
So, Sister Bethy,
Huh?
there's no reservations at that time. We are the only Indian.
Well, in
Indians are described as Negroes. I got you. In 1868, it wasn't even Indians then. It was the American race. If you look up who the American race is, the American Negro.
Yep.
That have been classified as Indians, colored, all these other things later on. But according to then, 1868, the 14th Amendment is for foreigners. It is not for us, the indigenous people here. Period. It has nothing to, we don't have nothing to do with birthright citizenship. So Native Americans got birthright citizenship damn near 100 years later. Respect to the checking. It's the GOAT.
Facts. And Darvis brings up the point, Indians not a race either. It's truly
it's
not.
A descriptive term of a race, just like, hey, Darvis, just like Moore's a descriptive term of race. The American race is what we are. The American race. Shout out to American Dad. The American race. Put that in your pipe, smoke it, research it, do whatever you got to do. In 1868, we were classified as the American race. Then you had the French race, the German race, so on and so forth. You see how this works? So black and white and all that stuff is later, and it's written back to 1790. It's not real. It's not real. It's not legal. And it's un-American.
So facts, Chief. So Smoke brings up a good question. Does it matter if you're still going to be a U.S. citizen? To me personally, I would have to say yes, because if I'm going to be an American citizen, which I am, and I always be to my death, but I want to be distinguished from being clumped in with the people who actually came here from Africa. I don't want to be confused with people who I'm not. My family didn't come from Africa. They didn't come from the Caribbean. They didn't come from any other country, but we were already here. And the most arrogant thing in the world to do is to think that people with brown skin, they all came from Africa. That's bullshit. That is arrogant. Just like with Asians. You got Chinese, you got Japanese, you got Laotian, you got Philippine. They're all not the same people. And they will tell you that. And Vietnamese. And they're a distinguished group of people because they're different countries. Okay. I will not tolerate being clumped in to a country that I know and all my family know absolutely nothing about. I know America. I'm American. I'm born an American and I'm going to die in America. And I don't care if anybody does not like it. That's who I am. Maybe that's why people are mad. I don't know. But last I checked, my color is copper color. I'm copper colored.
That's right.
And that's who this fake Columbus said he described the people as, copper colored. You get a penny. That's copper color.
Hey Betty, I'm just
People don't
hyped,
people
man.
don't like that shit, but I don't get over it. That's all I can say. Huh?
Hey, take time. She cooking tonight.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
you cooking. Hey, Sister Betty. So going
Hmm.
back to you, absolutely right. You know, as it pertains to being a citizen of this great country, right? Um, we just we just have the right, according to the UNDRIP, according to the ADRIP, according to the Constitution, to self-identify, as well as not to have our identity stolen. They are breaking every international law, treaties, everything when these things are happening, as well as, like I said, UNDRIP, which is the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People, as well as the American Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. So I need everybody to
That's a
stop
fact.
coming telling us who we are. You are violating. That's why I'm so hostile. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's why I'm so hostile when people do it, because we're not doing it to nobody else. And why is anybody mad about who we are? As it pertains to anybody else, um, we can have those conversations, but we the ancestors. This our land. We ain't come here. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
so when you
Right.
start talking about Freedmen Bureau of Refugees of German descent, these are German people, refugees,
Correct.
the coolies. These are all these different people that came in. It's late 1800s, 1900s. You guys, this is new. This is created things, but creating a black thing is definitely a violation of international law. Definitely a violation of our constitutional rights. So when you do it, you are violating us. So Indians are the aborigines of this land, according to law, not created
Right.
things. That's not real. So we don't have to go back and forth on that and trying to erase it. Oh, it's not no longer the Cleveland Indians, the Guardians now. There's a reason why they wanted to bury these things, to hide the redskins, root skins, brown skins. They want to erase it. There's a reason for this.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk about the redskin and Indian specifically, right? How can people say redskin is offensive, Indian is offensive, and then turn around and say nigga is just the word? Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Pretty much. Right. Exactly.
I mean, these are
Exactly.
Tupac babies. You know what I'm saying? So y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all got to think about the generation. Like so now we're talking to a lot of different people. Well, a lot of people are young, and so they're going to come in with their perspectives. You see what I'm saying? Like you ask a young guy, who's their top five and certain things, and he'd be like, "Oh shit, he's not thinking on your generation. He don't know Jordan. He don't know this era right here. They know this era that they come
Right.
in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we gotta start respecting that. As a time traveler, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Because rules of time traveling. You see what I'm saying? But
Right.
going back to what we're dealing with right now, today, it's getting bad, y'all. Like it's bad. It's getting bad. I don't
Yeah.
like. It's getting bad.
And I'm
I think we gotta
like,
some things that we gotta. I ain't say put on the back burner, but these things they're who we are is not up for debate anymore.
right.
Who you
Now,
are
when
is
you
not
look
up for
at
debate.
a
Be
lot,
you.
right.
That's my.
Now, when you look at us, like you look at me, people from India look like me. Seriously. But I'm not from India. So this is why I say the ignorance, we got to fix it. We have to fix it. And I love people from India. I love people from all races and cultures. But I want to be who I am on my own damn land. And, it really burns me up when a transgender can be a man or a woman. But you're going to tell me I fucking can't be an American Indian? Oh, no, I'm not having that.
Well,
Oh,
well,
no.
well, once again, I mean, that's not up for debate. We
It's
don't have
not
to
up for
debate it.
debate. I'll be in court
Like,
now. And guess what? I'll have all the transgenders backing me up. I will. They'll come in and know you're wrong. You need to change her. They can be who they want to be, but I can't be who I actually am. Oh no. But see, I didn't have that problem, but other people will. And you may have to drag these states to court to get it corrected. For the most part, you can correct it.
But isn't it most of it
but if
socially?
your birth certificate doesn't, huh?
Right. First off, the birth certificate for us is illegal. Start there. Enumerating us is illegal. Strike two. Like, so to have these documentations, have us reclassified, misclassified, strike three is another violation. So there's no reason for other than to erase you from your land. The blackbirding, all the things that have happened to us, this is what we want remedy for. All the acres here in the United States of America is ours. All of it. Every square inch. You see how this work? So my land back, our ancestors are in the ground here. Been here for millions of years. Stand down. We can pull up all the documentation and go back and forth with y'all, but ultimately, the legal aspect of it is going to back us up, and that's it. We don't have to. It's not even a court thing. It's like, hey, stand up who you are, but who's stopping you from checking American Indian? And then filling in who we are, Choctaw, Saponi, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying? And understand these words are still descriptive terms of you, of copper-colored, colored people. Copper-colored people are the first Americans here. This government understands this. We just got to understand it. So there's levels to this. Levels to it. It's definitely levels.
So definitely. So Chief, I'm gonna go back because I'm gonna finish reading this document because it touches points. By the way, this is gonna be the December newspaper. So so we stopped at, okay, now we're at key distinction. The law updated federal terminology, not state birth certificates or historical racial categories. It did not retroactively change history or prove African ancestry. So the summary: in 2010 Obama presidency, the Census Bureau said it would keep Negro on the 2010 census because some older Black Americans still self-identify with the term. In 2013, during the Obama presidency, the Census Bureau announced in 2013, during President Obama's administration, the U.S. Census Bureau removed the term Negro from federal surveys. This was an administrative action, not a law passed by Congress, and not an executive order. Therefore, no federal statute mandates the use of African American on state vital records. And that's a fact. So you got to understand this and you got to know this. There was no, again, in 2013, listen, during Obama's administration, the U.S. Census Bureau removed the term Negro from federal surveys. This was an administrative agency action, not a law passed by Congress, and not an executive order. Therefore, no federal statute mandates the use of African American on state vital records. This was done through Federal Register Notice, March 2013. Not a law, not an executive order. It was a bureaucratic update. That's it. It wasn't no law. 2016 law modernized terminology but created confusion by causing agencies to assume that all individuals historically labeled Negro had African ancestry, an assumption historically inaccurate for indigenous families. And that's a fact. And here's the bomb drop: historical equality and accuracy. The term African American did not exist in the 1600s to the 1900s. If it had, records would show African birthplaces, surnames, and migration, but they do not. Likewise, white was also a state created caste label, not an ethnicity. Irish, German, French, Dutch, Italian, Polish, and Spanish families were collapsed into the single legal category white. Therefore, if indigenous people have the right to correct their racial records, white Americans also have that right, because both African American and white are modern racial labels created by the state, not by ancestry. Federal courts on indigenous identity, what the law actually says. For generations, Eastern indigenous families who remained in their homelands were reclassified by state governments as colored, Negro, white, mulatto, or black. These labels appear on birth certificates, death certificates, marriage records, and census sheets, not because our ancestors changed, but because the government did. What most people do not know is this: federal courts have already ruled that these state racial labels have no legal power to erase indigenous identity. Here is what the law says. And we gonna go there. Here's what the law says. It says, number one, Indian is a political status, not a racial label. And this is in Morton versus Mencari and Title 417, United States, 1974, in the controlling Supreme case. That is the controlling Supreme Court case. Indian is a political status, not a label. The court held Indian is a political classification tied to tribal sovereignty, not a racial classification. This means state racial labels do not determine indigenous identity. Being listed as colored, Negro, white, mulatto, or black does not erase tribal ancestry, indigenous identity, political status, community belonging. Federal courts do not rely on state racial categories because those categories were created under state racial caste systems, not federal Indian law. Blood quantum is not required. Federal courts have repeatedly held blood quantum is not the controlling test. Descent plus community recognition is enough. Tribal identity is political, not racial. This is especially important for Eastern indigenous people because state reclassification erased Indian from documents, but it did not erase ancestry, cultural continuity, community identity, political belonging. And federal courts do not require Dawes rolls because the Dawes rolls only covered the 5 tribes after removal, not the Eastern tribes who stayed. And that gets a bomb drop. So let me give you the bomb drop, y'all. Gotta give it the bomb drop. Again, I'm going to read it again.
You cooking, yeah. Cook. Read it again, yes.
This is especially important for Eastern indigenous people because state reclassification erased Indian from documents, but it did not erase ancestry, cultural continuity, community identity, political belonging, And federal courts do not require Dawes rolls because the Dawes rolls only covered the 5 tribes after removal, not the eastern tribes who stayed. That's you. Federal courts accepted community recognition as evidence of indigenous identity. So listen, if you started your nonprofit tribe, that's and then you created an indigenous community, and that's recognized. Genealogical continuity as legitimate evidence of indigenous identity. This is exactly how Eastern indigenous identity survives despite state reclassification. Y'all listening?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me get back. What this means for Eastern indigenous people who were reclassified by states. Here is the legal logic, clean and simple. Federal law defines Indian politically, not racially. State racial labels were racial, not political. Therefore, states' labels do not control federal indigenous identity. Federal courts look at ancestry, descent, community recognition, tribal affiliation, historical continuity. No state racial categories. Eastern indigenous people were excluded from the Dawes roll because they did not relocate, not because they were not indigenous. Federal courts understand this history and do not treat Dawes rolls as the only proof of indigeneity. Federal courts have repeatedly recognized that state racial classifications does not erase indigenous identity. Federal courts have acknowledged states use racial categories to collapse indigenous identity. Census enumerators assign race based on appearance. Eastern tribes reclassified as color. This was a function of state racial laws, not tribal identity. Indigenous identity can survive despite state records. This is consistent with, and here's the proof, United States versus Sandoval, 1913, Montoya versus United States, Morton versus Mankery, ICWA cases, federal recognition cases. All of these cases emphasize indigenous identity is political and cultural, not dependent on state racial labels. The Federal Office of Management Budget definition, the one used for birth certificates. The Office of Management and Budget sets the official federal racial classifications used by vital records, census, Social Security, education, health agencies, all federal data systems. OBM defines American Indian or Alaskan Native as a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central America, and those who maintain tribal affiliation or community attachment. This definition does not require Dawes rolls, enrollment, federal recognition, blood quantum. It recognizes ancestry plus community attachment, which is exactly the situation for Eastern indigenous families. Bottom line, the federal judicial rule. Indigenous people whose ancestors remain in the East and were reclassified by states, federal courts do not treat state racial labels as controlling. Federal courts do not require Dawes rolls. Federal courts accept descent and community recognition. Federal courts define Indian politically, not racially. Eastern indigenous identity is legally valid and historically documented.
Hold on. Stop. Hold on. Stop. 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 Stop.
She
Okay.
Now,
dropping bombs
would
on me,
would
baby.
reclassification certify as historical documentation for the Indians?
Yes.
Okay.
You dropping
Yes.
bombs on
We're talking
me,
about the federal
baby.
court.
Yeah, you
It makes
cooking.
no
Oh my
sense to
God.
go to the state court. Right. It makes no sense to go to the state court that harmed you. You got to go to federal court for the protection. You have protections in federal court. And I just read, if you want me to read this again, number 7 again, when it comes to
Yep.
federal judicial
Please do.
rule. Okay, number 7, bottom line. The federal judicial rule for indigenous people, excuse me, whose ancestors remain in the East and were reclassified by states, federal courts do not treat state racial labels as controlling. Federal courts do not require Dawes rolls. Federal courts accept dissent plus community recognition. Federal courts define Indian politically, not racially. Eastern indigenous identity is legally valid and historically documented. Summary. The federal government created the conditions for harm, the states executed the harm, the census recorded the harm, and the descendants lived the harm. I can't even.
Drop a
Why
bomb
this
on that.
matters?
Sheesh.
Okay, let's go back and drop the bomb on it. Here we go. I'll read it again. The federal government created the conditions for harm. The states executed the harm. The census recorded the harm, and the descendants lived the harm.
Sister Betty, can you drop this link in the back chat? Because I want to send it to my cousin that be researching with me. Cause we trying to put all this shit together for yeah.
Send me an email, Tayshawn. I'll just email the document to you.
Okay, I'm putting it back now.
Put it in the back,
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
gonna
all.
send this whole document to my email it to you. Don't forget, this is our newspaper. Why? Oh, I can't even. I forgot to go back to the newspaper. Okay, why this matters for our birth certificate correction? Because there is no federal law requiring African American. There is no executive order requiring African American. States cannot claim federal law requires this label. They can't. States cannot deny corrections based on a law that does not exist. Yo, are y'all listening? This
I mean,
strengthens our argument. Huh?
I mean, it's just it's a layup at this point. Like I said, you like court. Like, no, it's already documented. Like we don't even have to fight this. That it's just we have been willingly participants in this whole facade since the
Yeah.
90s. Like it's
Darvis, this is
bad.
all federal law, sweetheart. It's all federal law, and it's legit. It's because no one pays attention to federal court. They don't understand that the federal requirements are for the individual United States to protect you. That's where your protection is.
Hold
Your
on, Sister Beth,
protection,
you said
your
something.
federal courts. Huh?
You said something that was important, right? That the federal government created the conditions, the state executed the conditions, and we, the descendants, are living out the conditions, right? Or so, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that I might have messed that up a little bit, but they created
No, you're
it, right?
right. Because they're looking at Andrew Jackson at the federal level. That's why.
Right. So.
But there was no law. It was just his mouth.
Well, and a lot of times, and that could be debatable too. What they're presenting, you know, you know what I mean? They could say anything, and they'll use like 3/5 human clause, and even the Emancipation Proclamation is not what people have said it is. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole narrative is a spin, and that's what's so crazy, that it was so culturally damaging to us, and they created the conditions for it. That's my point, and we can prove it.
Fact.
So when and I know I was harmed, and Tayshaun, like
Yes,
Bethy,
we're
like
all of
we
us at
all
least
were harmed,
all are harmed with these racial labels.
harming us
Yeah.
as we speak right now, right? I don't want to turn up,
Yes.
but I'm pissed off, and we want it to stop. But not only stop, but repair, restore. That's it. That's we don't we don't. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's an issue when you have systems and things are in place to that are detrimental to the American people. Period. That's it. That those things have to stop. So when they're saying America first, I'm with all that out. Yeah, America first. Not China first, Russia first, Israel first, Uganda first, America first. And what's best for our
So
interests.
I'll
You know
read the summary.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes,
cooking.
Chief. I'm going to read the summary one more time, and then we'll get to the resources. I promise you guys, Sherilyn, Rodney, everybody, this is the July newspaper, and you will have all the resources there. The last page, you're going to see that in like 2 minutes. So the summary: the federal
My email in
government
the back too,
created the
Sis
conditions
Betty.
for harm. Okay, the federal government created conditions for harm. The states executed the harm. And when we talk about the federal government, we're talking about Andrew Jackson's, and the states took advantage of what he stated. But there is no federal law. Congress didn't go into General Assembly and vote on this. So y'all got to understand that. This is why you're getting ready to read what the federal courts, how
What
they
about
view
Woodrow
this.
Wilson? What about Woodrow Wilson's administration?
I didn't even get to his administration. I'm sorry, Chief. I just did Andrew Jackson, where all this shit started.
No, I think that's dope. But when we talk about Woodrow Wilson's administration, that was a turning point in America in a shift of power from a federal level. I just got to go to the time period and look down the timeline.
So why? Okay, I'm going to read this summary because we're almost done. This is the last of it. Then we're going to see you'll see and you'll have access to all the records that where this comes from. So the summary: the federal government created the conditions for harm. And when we speak that, we're talking about Andrew Jackson. They're looking at him as the federal level, just like Trump is the federal level. The states executed the harm. They took what he said and ran with it and did what they want. Because you know that the amendment said any laws not created here, blah, 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 is they'll leave to the states. The census recorded the harm and the descendants live with the harm. Why this matters for our birth certificate correction? Because there is no federal law that requires you to say you're African American. There is no executive order requiring African American. States cannot claim federal law requires this label. States cannot claim that federal law requires this label. States cannot deny corrections based on a law that does not exist. This is why you'll be able to go to federal court and argue that, because they can't. This strengthens our arguments that racial labels on state birth certificates are state created, not federally mandated, and therefore can be corrected. Correcting the record is not a favor. It is a legal remedy for state-created injury. Truth recorded is justice remembered. And that is the end of my notes. These are all the references, you guys. Resources and references, all public domain sources, right here. Okay? All of this. I have this federal court structure and purpose, all this stuff. All of this is where it came from. All right? Office of Budget Management. All these are resources. Okay? And this is the end of my segment anyway from teaching this, string on this. This is our newspaper. And if you click this link, it's supposed to take you to our, let me see, control website. This will be up July 1st. This will be up. This is why I tell people to go to our newspaper. Let me do a share screen so you could see once you click that link where to go and where to get it from. All right. It's very simple. All right. Let me know when you guys can see the newspaper, our website. Can you see it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, shit. Dong, dong, ding. If I get over back to where you guys are, there we go. Ah, Jesus. Here we go. Share. All right. So once you click that link on our newspaper, it's going to bring you here, right? Can you guys see this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you click newspaper. These are the top labels. See it right here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you click the month. There's newspaper in there for January, February, March, April, May, June is there. This, what I'm reading today, will be July's newspaper. So when you click July, it's going to populate the newspaper. You could print it out or you could just download it and save it. Okay? You got that?
Dope.
Okay? So this is where you'll find this at. But you won't find this until July 1st because it's not ready to go up yet. It'll go up July 1st. But I'm going to email this. So, Chief, go ahead, y'all. What y'all got? I'll open the panel if y'all want. If you want me to, if anybody wants to come up and ask Chief and Tavon questions, you're most certainly welcome to. Anybody? I don't know, Chief.
I mean, I kind of, said a lot of things I wanted to say. Once again, they're rewriting history, right? By saying, okay, I can create a book, a movie, a curriculum, right? That says, okay, this is the narrative. Forget what they ancestors are telling them. We can erase that systematically. Oral tradition to be gone if, obviously people pass on. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of us haven't met our great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have those oral stories unless they're passed down through our people. But if our great-grandparents and some of us great-great-grandparents were miseducated and our grandparents were miseducated and our parents were miseducated and we're miseducated on purpose, and we know we can prove this. It's just another thing, Sister Betty, that we can prove damages that were done on purpose, along with the reclassifications, all these other things. All these things worked in conjunction together. Still working in conjunction together.
Mm-hmm.
So when we proved and showed the documentation of Afro studies, Africana studies, Black studies that morphed into Africana studies, it's still funded by the CIA today. Why? Why are you doing this? You see what I'm saying? All of it goes together.
Yep.
All of it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in collusion. I think, like I said, I think what works is hitting people in their pockets. Everybody that's involved, the media, you guys are involved.
Yeah,
Everybody,
that's facts.
gatekeeping organizations, you guys are involved. See what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
Yep.
the strategies, but we need peace and prosperity. And I think the right and exact knowledge of who you are, it changes you. It brings peace. See what I'm saying? So I think that's the main thing. Um, don't we should get outside of this. I ain't gonna say this community, but just outside, just expand it. It's bigger. Like it's millions of us here that don't know this information. So,
Oh yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So
Yep. I emailed you, Darvis and Tayshawn. I emailed y'all.
Okay.
Thank you, Kit Kat. Sent it.
yeah, man, peace to everybody tapped in, man. I was definitely was cooking.
But yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm here for, Chief. What I'm gonna do is start lecturing on how, um federal documents, federal complaints are written. So how, because nobody's teaching anybody. And this is for all communities. My next segment is going to be lectured on how to write a federal complaint in court. You have to, there's different sections that the federal court require. And if I don't show you, nobody's going to show you. Has been the problem with our people for many years. We could not get legal representation. We're up to doing things on our own because to me, I mean, you should get licensed attorneys. You should consult one, but good luck for one fighting for you in this manner. And I'm showing you in case you can't get no attorney to help you.
so
We're at our wits for ourselves.
it,
So
it's
I'm going to
my quick
just
question.
do it live because what's up?
Is there any because you are a professional, is there any legalities behind that?
No.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I have a degree in legal studies. I can teach. I'm media. I own a newspaper, and that's what media does. We lecture. I can teach, but I just can't represent anybody in court. I
I
can't
got
draft documents for people. I can't do that. They have to go see a lawyer. But as far as educating people on the different sections of a complaint that's filed in federal court, I can do that. I can teach
okay.
that, but I can't put the document together. I can't put the wording together. I can teach them what sections need to be in there. Absolutely, I can. College professors teach all the time and they don't have JDs.
So let me ask you a question. What specific lawyer, if somebody was looking for a licensed attorney, right? What kind of lawyer would you recommend to look for? So you're not gonna look for like
Constitutional lawyer.
con-
Constitutional lawyer. Because
like Obama.
you're dealing with right, constitutional lawyers.
So where do
That's
you
who you
find
want.
like you can find lawyers like that, like the cab? I mean, like the cab chasers, but the ambulance chasers. You can find them everywhere, right? Learn and
Yeah,
enroll,
you can
blah blah
find them
blah, right?
everywhere.
Everywhere. But a
Right.
constitutional lawyer is a little different. So that
Correct.
specifically, how do we consult or find a constitutional lawyer, Sister Beth?
You can look up lawyers and on lawyers.com. And what they do is point you to, you can even Google list like this. Let me see. Let's go here. Let me do this. If you have Google and shit like that, let me see. Wait a minute. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Matter of fact, I think because everybody's more familiar with like Google, let me do a share screen. Sorry, you guys. Oh, I hate when that happens. Okay, share screen. All right. So you're in Google and you know that you've been harmed, you had state harm. You simply can do, I'll say, list of constitutional lawyers in South Carolina. That's all you got to type. List of constitutional lawyers in South Carolina. And look what it gives you. Stewart and Andrews and Melissa Burnett at Burnett, Shutt McDaniel in Columbia, and Jay Bender. They give you a list of lawyers who constitutional attorney. They deal with the Constitution. See there? So whatever state you're in, you just Google you list of constitutional lawyers. Okay? Because if they are going to correct their ways, because like I said, this harm wasn't just done to indigenous Indians. It was done to white people too. That's why you have white race. They clunked all Europeans under white. And that's not fair either. So if they get denied from going to vital statistics, just like us, and say, no, you're not changing that to French or Italian, they too can sue, and they can look up constitutional lawyers, and the constitutional lawyer be like, well, damn, I got white on my birth certificate too. I'm going to get this shit changed. You're going to deny me? They're going to go right to federal court. Because you can't do that.
But if white was created,
I
got you. But if white was created to that benefits you, why would you, especially if you're a lawyer who still is a part of the bar association, right? And if you're a constitutional lawyer, because I can't wait to call some of them. I think we're
there's no harm in correcting that today. There's no harm in correcting that. I can't wait to have a conversation
with a constitutional lawyer, though.
There's no, even if white people were to go and correct their race, chief, there is no harm in that at all. They can get it corrected because white is not a race. It's not. It's a state harm. It's a state caste label. It's not a federal law.
Right, but if the caste works in your favor, why would you not use it? Why wouldn't you want to use it?
Because there are many reasons why white people don't want to use it. Because number one, they're not white. Number two, they want to be able to understand know their genealogy and have it on documents too. There are a lot of people who were classified as white who had a black, a colored nanny, grandma, and they want to correct it.
So let me ask you a question.
A lot of them were forced. They were forced
if you have no
to
connection,
be under white race.
If you have no connection that's positive to Europe, right? You have no land back there. You have no name back there. You have nothing, right? Why would you want to associate with Europe when your people been here for 100 years, like the Bidens or the Trumps? Why would you care? Why would you ever even care what's going on in Europe?
Because the whole purpose is to be able to pass this information down to future generations. Future generations might want to look back and say, where did my ancestors come from? Or who were they?
So do you think that's why Trump, for instance, is procreating with Europeans. Just a sidebar.
What do you mean?
Like,
what do you mean?
Go back. I mean, it's people who, like, he's procreating with European ladies.
Right. His first and
So
first ex
All of
and
them.
his current is
All
Slavs.
of them. All of them.
I don't get what you're saying
Baloney.
when you say that.
Is that
I don't understand what you're saying.
That
He's
man
saying
trying
he
to make
don't
sure his
he
kids
don't
pure.
he don't
He was
mess with
lost.
quote
He want
unquote
to go back and deal with love. So his kids
right.
can let them keep their nationality or whatever you want to call it.
Darvis? What
Wait,
up, though?
I'm
Peace to the
confused.
God.
I'm
What's going on
confused,
with the
y'all.
chief?
Chilling, man.
Please, I'm not understanding what you guys are saying. You're talking about procreating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
like
don't
having kids.
procreate with so-called white Americans. He procreate with people that's currently from Europe. Is what he means.
But isn't that his choice?
Start showing Peace
Isn't that his
King.
choice?
Salute.
Isn't that his choice? Are there
Yeah, but
restrictions or laws that says that you can't procreate with the same people that come from your country? I
no,
mean, like,
that's not the point though. So
I,
he was saying that he's doing that specifically for a reason though. He's saying that's his choice. That's cool.
maybe you don't want no brown woman, and a lot of times people want
No,
to.
No. I say Brown.
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
I'm
What
being specific.
procreation has to do with
He was
race?
specific.
Yeah, he wanna have kids by somebody with the same lineage. That's why he having kids with Europeans.
And what's
So
wrong
peace to
with
you
that?
anyway, Sister Betty. I don't think nothing wrong with it.
Peace, Starvis. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with wanting to. Okay, I have a colleague, and he's white, and I asked him if he would ever date a woman that looks like me, and he said, "Of course I would." And I said, "Would you have a baby by women that look like me?" And he said, "Well, I'm not so sure about that because I would want my baby to look like me." And not because it won't have some of his features, but because he recognizes the dominance of the color.
Black.
So, and that's a fair thing to say. He wants his kid to look like him, and there's nothing wrong with that. But look, we don't have to. We can date and marry and love who we want. Like I told you, my next husband is going to be either Chinese, Korean, or Japanese. And I don't give a fuck who don't like it.
Yeah, but that's illegal, Miss Sister Betty.
No, it's not illegal. I can marry who and love who I want. If I'm walking down the street holding hands with an Asian man and I'm in love with him and that's my man, that's my man. And I don't give a damn who don't like it. Ain't nobody
Yeah, but
telling me who to be
you a
with.
chief of a tribe though. You can't go deal with
No,
no
what?
Asian.
That don't mean that. That does not mean that I can't fall in love with who I want to fall in love with. I don't give a damn if I'm a chief of a tribe. Who I love is who I love. And I don't look at race. I look at the man that would make me happy in my life. And the man who loves me just as much as I love him. I don't give a damn about color. Some people like to stick with their own race, power to them, but I like to do what I want to do. And because I'm from Connecticut, that's just my attitude. I'm from the constitutional state, and we are like this down here. I am culturally connected more with Northern Indians than Southern Indians. So race don't mean shit to me. I don't care.
Interesting.
It's about who loves you and who is going to be there and love you just as much as they
Let's
love
go back.
themselves.
Well,
So
That's what
history
I
repeats
go by.
itself then.
Fuck all that other shit. I'm not gonna stay in no miserable relationship.
let's focus on
So
love.
you
Who
got a
loves
so
I
you
you,
got
want
a
to marry
right?
man.
a guy. If I don't want to marry a white man, I marry a white man. Ain't nothing, no
I ain't
Negro.
gonna push
Okay,
back on you,
I'm
Sister
calling you
Betty. I'm gonna let
Negroes
that go.
now. If I want to marry a white man, that'll be
I'm
my
gonna let that
business
go.
too. Nobody can tell me what to do. First of all,
I got you.
you don't got no business telling me who I can be with
That's right.
and who I can love. You
So
don't like it,
I'm
fucking
gonna
don't
let
come
that go.
around me.
But I do want
Yes, let
to
it
address
go.
what you said though. I'm gonna let that go. But I do want to address love who love you, right? I definitely want to address that. I don't want to address, anything else. I just want to address that part of it, right? So his just historically, right? Y'all love on us and we love on y'all. Right? That's
That
just how
shit
this
is
thing
past.
goes.
Look, just like we said,
I think
let me tell you
that
something.
might be the
Just
issue.
like we
I
said,
know for a fact
there
we
is no
love you
federal
more than the
law that
Asians.
says I can't
We love
marry
you
no
more than
white
Jackie
man,
Chan.
Chinese man. I don't believe that shit.
We love you
I'm
more than Jackie
sorry.
Chan.
I would look.
That's unhealed talk right there. That's unhealed talk, Sister Betty. That's unhealed. You gotta heal,
That's right.
baby.
That's right. My daughter
That's all
backing me
good.
up. Can I marry?
You just need to
She
get in the
said, "Would you
South,
have a
man. Get you a good
problem
Southern gentleman.
having
That's all.
a? Do you have a problem having a white or Japanese or Korean stepdaddy?"
Yeah, but Koreans don't even know how to do
No.
karate though.
Your daughter single?
Look, I love Asian men. That's me. Y'all got a lot of nerve because a lot of y'all brown men, y'all date white women. And so we as women, we can't date a white man, a Japanese man, or who we want, but y'all could. Get the hell out of here.
Hey man, I feel like this, man. You got the right to date who you want to date. But as history has told,
Exactly.
that's how they got control of the land from marrying our women.
Guess what? And if I marry who I want, you still ain't getting your damn land back. So what's the difference?
Well, when you bring them live, me and Chief gonna gang his ass.
Chief Holiday done fell off.
Sister Betty, is your daughter single? Cause
My baby, she
yes,
got
ma'am.
twin boys and they roughnecks.
I got 4
Yeah,
children
she's a
myself.
grown. My daughter is a grown woman. She speaks for herself. My baby, 34. Ask her.
Oh, she the same age as me,
I call her
Miss Mookie.
92. Yep.
Do you have a
Chief, where
ma'am?
you
Do
go?
you have a man, ma'am?
We don't. He probably lost connection. What you say? She said, "Hey," she in the chat laughing. Darvis, y'all got some nerve. Chief, where you
See,
go? He done ran.
he looking for that. He looking
No,
for
he
Bruce
probably
Lee.
lost connection. He probably he ain't gonna find him.
Soon as that get off the
Look,
airplane, we could be right there.
I think Asian men are beautiful. I'm sorry. Just my thought. They are. Y'all act like we as women are just supposed to love men of our own culture. I don't think that way. That's some old ancient shit. That don't.
We all deal
It's
with history, though, right?
2026. Yeah, but that don't mean that I'm gonna be following them rules. Look, there's a whole lot of reasons why them Indians didn't go to Oklahoma. Not to be under no damn coat. I can imagine why my granny, let me say, I know why my granny and them stayed and did say, hell no, I ain't going to Oklahoma. I'm staying right here because my great grandmother's firstborn was by a white man. So I know she was like, oh, hell no, I ain't going up there. She can't have her white man. Fuck y'all. The same way.
Damn. A lot of white men went out there too, though.
Right. But she stayed with her man. So, I mean, I have mulattoes all through my family, half white, half black, half white. We look like we the zebra family.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
I got whites, Latinos in my
There's
family.
only, there's only a problem
Yeah.
that a child don't understand
I
both
hate,
sides of
I
the
hate,
family.
I absolutely hate racism. I do. I do. It's like it's very true. Your love, your soulmate could be on another side of the damn world. Your soulmate is not always going to be in your community. So, because people don't believe that, they suffer with what's there. Fuck that. And I'm speaking in my community language, and I'm keeping it a buck. It took me a long time to learn that.
I feel you too, man. But I got a question though, mama.
Your love is not always going to be in your community, huh?
How can you say you love
What?
your people, but yet you want an Asian man?
That can be possible. You mean to tell me I can't love my people and be in love with an Asian man?
Nope.
Are you serious?
Yep.
If I didn't love my people, I wouldn't be teaching here in the community. I do. I went through the same pain as them. But that just because I love my community and I teach them, I'm not in a cult. I'm not in a cult. And I was raised by a veteran. And my father, he was different. My father was a straight up vet. And I'm not in a cult. I'm not in that shit where, oh, you're from the urban community, so you have to date a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Now I love Pookie and Ray Ray, but that don't mean I want to be with their ass because I don't like what they do.
I think that's messed
And
up.
I have to have I don't well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm communicating with you. I'm not showing you hate. I'm communicating with Tayshawn. It's not like I turn my back on brown men. That's not true because I wouldn't be sitting up here talking to you. But hey, look, chemistry is a whole different thing. My chemistry don't always connect with a Negro. If you want to use, since you want to use old terminology, my chemistry doesn't always connect with someone in my community. My
So
strongest
would it matter if they're from
communication
South Korea, North Korea?
always with. Well, first of all, ain't nobody messing with no North Korean because Americans are not allowed in North Korea. First of all, they're not allowed in North Korea. We can go to South Korea because it's the Republic of South Korea, but North Korea, Americans are not allowed to come there to visit or be citizens.
I agree.
Now, but
So you don't
Koreans, Chinese.
so if you were to run across a North Korean man at the bar, will you have a drink with him if he's from North Korea?
Okay, first of all, I don't drink alcohol, so that will never happen. I never drank alcohol in my life. I don't like it. It stinks. I smoke cigarettes and I drink coffee. So that'll never happen, Jarvis.
But would you have a
I
coffee
don't
with
smoke
him?
weed.
Would you have a
Of
coffee with him?
course.
All right,
Mhm.
cool.
Look, the issue ain't about people dating outside their race. It's about when they have bad experiences with a couple people from the same race, and then they clump up everybody into that particular. Like I got even homeboys who be on shit to my. I'm done with black women. I'm going to get me a white girl, and I look at them like, look, bro, if you want you a white girl, you go do that, but you're not gonna talk shit about the sisters. I don't give a fuck. So that's how I look at it. Like we don't have to put down our people in order to love other people. Like love who you love, but don't forget, at the end of the day, the heartbeat and soul of the earth is niggas in America. The American Negro woman and the American Negro man.
And I agree with that too,
Okay.
man. Hell, I got a cousin. I
Okay.
got a cousin tell me black girls
I
make
got
his
two
stomach hurt.
brothers on the panel. Okay. I got two brothers on the panel. I'm not putting my people down. I'm not. It's just that I just happen to have an attraction to Asian men. And it's not because I hate the men in my community. I have an attraction to them. Bottom line. And that doesn't mean that I don't attract to the men in my community, but I have an attraction to Asian men. I like how they treat me.
Yeah, that's because they in America.
They make
But when you go to their
they
homeland, it could
make
be a
me
little
feel
different now.
beautiful. No, not always. No, not the women that I have spoke with and I communicate with that say, girl, you need to go to Seoul. That's a part of okay, here come Chief. See, Chief Holiday is getting ready to get on this panel. And I'm gonna end my show because he's gonna start acting like my brother Tyrone in South Carolina. I'm gonna smack him.
Look, Sister Betty, it sound like you're the female version of the passport bros, because these niggas that call themselves passport bros, they always talking about, oh, I'm going overseas, get me a foreign woman, and it's like, bro, that shit sound crazy to me. Like it just sound crazy as fuck, man. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. And
Well,
me being in the
Yeah.
military and I've met many people from different ethnicities. At the end of the day, those people do not fuck with black people. They fuck with us,
That's
but at
not.
their core, they
That
do
is
not
not
fuck with us.
true.
Okay, okay.
Oh my God,
I done
Asians
traveled the world.
yo, Asians. No, that's not true. I don't know what you want. You need to watch TikTok. They be trying to make me
No,
up all the
I
time,
be outside and I be
Hey,
outside, Sister
Sister
Betty. I don't
Betty,
need
I get
TikTok.
and then I
like, nah, well,
look. Let me tell
I
you
got these
something.
little
A
dogs,
lot
right?
of Asian men on TikTok
I
and
got you.
Facebook always
How
sending
about
me
this?
They're pandering.
things, and
How
I have
about
to
these
turn
little
them down because I'm
dogs?
like, look, you're 35 years old. I'm sorry, you're too young for me. And they go, oh, I'm sorry. I get it all the time. So
A
I
lot of
don't
them boys trying to
know.
get citizenship though.
Look,
It's like
look,
Pocahontas,
no,
it's
no,
like
no.
Pocahontas girl
No, no,
boyfriend.
no. The Asian men I know are already American citizens. What the hell are you talking about?
You still like them?
Yes,
Okay.
that's my choice. I love Asian men. I think they're beautiful, and I love how they communicate with me. They make me feel pretty.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be done with it. The Asians and the Pacific Islanders that I was cool with in the military. Let me tell you, this how I know they really don't fuck with us. When I was in the military, I didn't know what I know now as far as information. So the N word, I used to that shit didn't bother me. Once I started getting knowledge of who I truly was, and I started telling them like, hey, that N word shit, y'all can't say it no more. Yeah, all these niggas got mad. I don't fuck with none of them now. That's why I say deep down at their
Okay,
core, they do not like us, Sister Betty. I don't give a fuck how nobody feel. Those people
no,
don't.
no,
You
no.
got a few, but
This
95% of those people do not like us, bro. That is what it is. That's
Okay,
just the
my
facts of it.
audience, my audience that's listening, Tayshawn is Mookie's age. They're millennials. So my daughter is a millennial. They're both born in 92 or whatever. They're millennials. You can't tell them shit. But now I'm going to tell you this, and this is something you need to learn. There's a difference between, and I'll use modern language for now because we were reclassified. There is a difference between a black man and black women. Okay.
Huh?
Asians, to keep it a buck, no race like too many black men. Point blank, men. Now,
Why
when I
not
look
though?
Man,
at
because we the
women,
best man.
that's a whole
Exactly.
that's a whole different. It's a whole different game. Asian men don't look at you and me the same. They look at me differently from you.
So,
Yeah,
Sister
because
A
they
Betty,
lot
scared of
of
us. Because they know what we can do to
you
them.
can't go from the best man to
oh
an
God, that's
amalgamated
so
man.
ignorant. Stay,
That's
Tayshawn.
not ignorant.
Well,
Hold
that's
on.
because
Having this
you're a millennial.
conversation is
That's
ignorant.
because you're a
For real,
millennial.
for real.
Tayshawn's gonna
Because
say
you
that
love who
he's a
you love. That's
millennial.
cool. But listen though, Sister Betty. Now flip this around. You get a brother,
Oh,
right? Like he was saying, the passport brothers, right? They say, man, it's no value in the copper colored American woman. I need to go overseas and find me something better. Or he just say, man, the pale skinned woman is better because they don't argue, they don't do this, they don't do that. All the masculine energy that is prevalent in our community, right? How do that make you feel when you hear that, sis? If a brother
I'd
was
have to
saying
agree with him.
exactly,
I have to
you would
agree with him
agree.
because I say the
So
same
you
thing.
agree
No.
I do.
that.
Mm-mm.
I have to agree with him. I have
So
to agree
you
because
think
he probably had.
that
Now,
another
wait.
woman
Can I
outside
finish
this
answer
community
it?
is better than our
Wait.
women?
Can I answer you? Can I answer you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Here's my answer. Here is my answer, Chief.
Sheesh.
I'm gonna say that I will agree with him, and I'll tell you why I agree with him because he probably had dated many women, and it hasn't been great. But then he encountered a strong communication with a white woman. So she made him feel comfortable, more comfortable than the women that he has dated in his own community. And I understand that psychologically.
No, I'm saying
Some of our
somebody that's
millennial
specifically
women and
targeting
some of our women
somebody that's
so a
specifically.
lot of our women,
Huh?
a lot of the women in our community are just as bad as the dudes. And I'm keeping it a buck. So I wouldn't be mad at him that if he found love in a white woman, so be it.
But why? But
I
why
don't
are the
look at
men and women in our community bad? Like that's something that could be fixed with
It's
with
got to be
everybody
fixed.
doing the inner work though. Everybody just want to run and say, "I'm going over here. I'm going over there. Fuck these niggas. Fuck these bitches." Like, no, that's not the answer.
I
Like, men need women.
at
Women
my
need men.
okay, but at my age, I'm not look, at my age, You come here as a man. You came to your mama as a child. I'm not teaching no grown ass man how to love me and how to be with me. Fuck that. If you don't come with them credentials, I'm not teaching no man how to do shit unless he's my son and I'm raising him. But then that's over. A man that walks in my life, you come to me as a man. If you can't come to me as a man, don't fucking step to me. I'm not raising no man. Hell no. And there happens to be men that are raised to be men. You have men that were raised to be men, and you have men that were raised to be boys because their mama and the women they affiliated with gave them everything they wanted. So they expect that from every woman they walk into. Me, I'm not putting up with no, I'm not living and laying up and enjoying life with a motherfucker that I gotta teach how to be a man. No. You learn that before you step in my house. I'm sorry. I'm not raising no grown ass boy.
So you think there's a universal way to love women, or you think each woman a little
Honestly,
different?
that's a turn off to me. I can't stand a man that is not independent. That turns me off. It's a turn off for me. I gotta think you and me. Oh hell no. A man, I like masculinity, and I like a man of power.
What is okay? I was about to say, what is your definition of masculinity? Because me personally, right? I have a routine, daily routine. A lot of women is not with that routine, but it's masculine as fuck that I have this routine every day. I get my ass up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I go to the gym. After I go to the gym, I come back home. I do my affirmations. I meditate. I get my kids ready for the day, and then I go to work. A lot of women are not, they're not structured
Doing the
because
shit.
it's a man's job to be the structure, right?
Correct.
So when you say masculinity, are
But you
you
know
talking
what?
about
It's vice
structure?
versa.
Mhm.
It goes both ways, Tayshawn. It goes both ways. You to me sound like a disciplined, independent man who knows how to take care of his family. And then it's the flip side. You got women who are act like little fucking girls and don't got no damn brains. And we're not taught to be independent women. So what we got a lot of street women out
Well,
here that
I
don't
don't
know
think.
how to be women. You have
And
women
that's
that
real talk
literally
too.
Well,
don't know. You have Tayshawn. You have
mhm.
women that don't know how to be wives to a man, just like you have men that don't know how to be men to or a husband in a relationship. So it's both ways. I'm not knocking the men. I'm doing both. And we have that in our community. Not saying all, because people like to take shit personal. But
Right.
there are a lot of women, and you know this old saying that we say in our community, it's women like you who fucks things up for me. And that's true. And the same thing for men. It's men like you that fucks things up for me. Because I get to be stereotyped as being like you. And it's me. I've always been that way though. I can't stand a man that don't understand independence. And it's not it don't have a damn brain on their head. I'm not raising no little boy, and I'm damn sure
Right.
not gonna sleep with him. Only boys I sleep with is my little twin grandsons. They come and they sleep with Nana, but that's it. I'm not raising no damn grown ass man. Get your ass out of here. No,
Because I know plenty
and I raise
men. They got a lot of
my
money and all.
daughter
I'm talking
doing
about wait.
shit.
They got way more money than me.
My daughter,
Go ahead.
my daughter doing way better than I was doing at her age. She doing way better than me. My daughter came out not taking shit. Don't even gotta work if she don't want to. That's the kind of baby daddy she got, her child's father. So she's doing good. She got the life I wanted when I was her age. But I got that life now. But y'all got it.
And I was just saying we gotta understand the difference between being a man and being masculine. It's because it's a lot of men out here. Yeah, they might be got to get themselves together, but they not masculine.
That's
They're not
that.
masculine at all. So
Oh,
I gotta.
I mean, okay. So, Sister Betty, we just went over
uh-oh.
a whole plot, right, to erase us.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Mm-hmm.
who you think is hit the hardest in this erasure?
No doubt
Like
we are.
who? I say this: who you think would be the number one target of the people who are doing the evil shit? Who would be they? Who you think they fear the most?
I don't know.
Sister
I don't know
Betsy.
everything, Chief. I'm here to learn. So you tell
I'm
me.
just saying you've been around. You've been around a little while, so you've seen the attack on fathers, the men in your community, systematic attacks,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
No jobs, no respect, even for veterans that fought for the country, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not giving it no excuse, because I'm not that. I'm to clone me. You hear me? But my point is, no, I just keep it fucking real. Like niggas take it how you gonna take it. That's on you. But I'm just keeping it fucking real. Like it's like it's a different mindset when it comes to these new age men. You understand what I'm saying?
Real shit.
How and in this community, there's some good dudes in this community. I can say that because I've been rocking with these dudes for years. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But our sisters seem to have taken on the position that we are the enemy when we are the actual source of the power of everything. And so when I hear certain
Okay.
things, right, like what's a high value man, right? And they be like, it's usually his bank account, what you could do for them, how much you could buy them, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, what we can build together, none of that conversation, right? But then I ask the question is, what is a high value woman? Right?
Okay.
What does that look like?
Wh-
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? And so
So
I
it
just
goes the
think that we
same
got to
way
have a,
when you
because I'm not gonna push back on you like Jackie Chan them. That's on you. Like that's your preference. Like you follow me.
you know what?
But
I can't
I,
stand him,
I,
y'all. Go
I
ahead.
like that chocolate right there. Copper colored Aboriginal women. Period.
Okay, that's your preference,
And
Chief.
and and
But the
and that, I'm
same
not
thing
saying
goes
that
for a man.
not wrong with somebody
A
that they own
man with
preference. Not
standards,
saying that.
a man with standards in our community
Mm,
thinks the same way as I do. A man with education, a man with a good job,
that's not
a
true.
good head on his shoulder. Wait. A lot of them have standards too. I'm not saying all of them. A man that have a good job and who was raised to be a man, they have standards too. A lot of them reject hood rat chicks. They do. They have standards,
We're not
just
talking about
like
hood
we have
rat chicks,
standards.
Sister Becky.
All
We're
right.
talking about
All right.
everybody
Who
should
are we
have
talking
standards,
about?
but I think a lot of us come from the
But
hood,
well, you
right?
said
And
a
we could grow out
high-powered
of that.
man. What is a
Huh?
high-powered woman? A woman who
Yeah.
has an education. She can think on her feet. She
I'm gonna say,
is
hold
a
on.
woman.
Flag on the
She
play.
understands
Yeah,
independence.
educated don't mean
Yeah.
nothing though.
Hold on,
I promise it don't.
Sister Betty. We
Okay.
understand that the miseducation system has hurt our families, right? And we know that has been the absolute opposite to elevate our woman up over the man. That was a whole part of the plot. So the education system is absolutely the miseducation system to get you to come in there and work for them and put us out of business, put us out of the workforce. That's what the whole thing was
That's
in
not
the late
true.
1800s and early 1900s was to take our shit, take our
That's
jobs, take
definitely true.
That's not
our
true.
industries.
So are you
That's
saying
true.
that
That's
Absolutely
true.
true.
my
Hmm.
education? So are you saying that my education in law destroys me from falling in love with men in my community?
No, I'm saying
About I've
that you
had
have
my
learned
wits
how
with
to
them and
apply
I'm
it.
fucking tired and I'm not looking no more. And I started to
No, I'm saying that
socialize
don't
more
make
and
you a high
stop
value
looking.
man or woman is your miseducation, unless you could be able to apply it like
Okay,
you have to
okay,
reality,
but
to
still, still,
better the culture. You
still, Chief.
know what I'm saying? Yes, ma'am.
What's the opposite of educated? What's the opposite of educated?
We said miseducated.
Okay, so now just because I'm pretty swift in law, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, I don't have that shit, but I have 40 years of legal experience. Now, here's the thing that doesn't, I would never work in a state government doing law because I don't like to do things that harm people. So my job would be in the private sector. It wouldn't be in state government. I would never And it depends on what kind of legal work I'll be doing. If it's drafting decisions for attorneys or attorney general, I'm not doing that shit because I know I'm harming somebody, and I'm not going to do that. So my law would be in the private sector where I defend people that's been harmed by a state. Everybody have a different preference in law now.
Look,
Right, but
this is
no,
what we're
that's you
saying though.
taking the information.
But
That's you going to school and using that and saying, "Oh, you know what? Writing exact knowledge of yourself. Now you can apply it in the right way." Does that make sense?
Right.
They didn't bring it
right,
from England to
Doing it.
here. They didn't bring jurisprudence here. It's ancient here in America. And our ancestors been practicing that.
and look,
This
what I want to say right
this
quick.
and democracy and everything else that they try to take take credit for, and that's wrong. And so going back to that or whatever, being able to take everything back. You see what I'm saying? Think about it. Having all this
Mm-hmm.
information, you couldn't apply it until you knew who you were.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like
That's all
we
I'm saying.
gotta
So if you have a right to
we
love Ling Ling M. That's sheesh. You know what I mean? But you said a masculine man. Ling Ling M can't fuck with us. You see what I'm
No.
like
saying?
this. But look, though,
We
look, hold
talking
on.
food chain. But that's
Before
what I'm
we
saying.
get
I'm not
past,
offended because it's too many of y'all for us. First off,
no,
I'm
hell no,
already y'all
I want
offended.
all of them. I want all of them. Nah, they all ours. No, all the sisters belong to me. Fuck that. Ain't too many.
nah, but you understand what I'm saying though. If you ain't like your mind ain't right, everybody got
But
their
look,
own mind.
look. Back
That's why I'm
to
going back
being
to
educated.
religious
Look,
right
back to
there.
being educated though. Hold on. About education though. We can't base people being high value off of degrees because majority of the people we know with degrees, yeah, they got that degree, but they lack common sense. Most of those people that I know with degrees, they still out here talking about, oh, Obama was great. Oh, we should go vote. Oh, it's like, yo, what the fuck is y'all? We black.
How about this? Why not get a
I get
brother
it.
that say, for instance, he might not have a degree, but he has a restaurant that he needs a educated woman to come in and help him with his books, his marketing, his you know what I'm saying, his POS system. You know what I mean? He got a small cleaning company, construction company. Y'all understand what I'm saying? An
Right,
entrepreneur,
right.
somebody that
Because
wants
I
to
don't
do
have
it
a
the way he
degree.
wants to do it. No, no,
I don't
no.
go. I don't
They
have a
want to,
degree.
huh?
I don't have a degree, but I know how to work a forklift. I drive trucks, and I just bought a pressure washer.
You got
The
No,
degree ain't
trades.
got
that's my
shit to do with
point
that.
though. That's
Exactly.
my point though.
Right.
So
You got
so when we
trades. That's
talking high
trades. That's
value men,
excellent.
we talking
I
about
don't know.
men.
I don't know too many Southern boys that don't have trades. They're born with trades.
Word.
I
I'm
don't know
keeping
about
it a
that no
buck.
more.
I don't
It's
know
not
no
these new
Southern.
guys.
I don't know no
Yeah,
Southern
that the
boys
older
that don't
one.
have no
Yeah,
trades.
yeah. The one born after the 80s, they're a little different, man. The
Yeah,
You
yeah.
90s
talking about
and the new
It's a little
millennials?
millennium
different.
cats. Yeah, them more a
You
little
talking about
different,
millennials?
man. Yeah, what you put? Yeah, I'd
Ain't
say
nothing like doing
95. The
man
parents
shit.
be weak as fuck though. The parents come up with some shit like my child ain't working in the sun type shit, and they ruined the child. Before you realize the child putting their clothes on the lodo.
Hey, a man even allowing that to happen is a problem. You see what I'm saying here? It's a problem.
Word.
But they'll be out there for
See,
football though, soccer and shit.
Chief,
See what I'm saying?
you're like a communist person. You're communist, Chief.
Nine.
You
I
Tayshawn
ain't
is
gonna lie, I'm on
communist
that
too.
same shit too, man. I'm on that same shit too, man. So I might be communist
I'm.
too.
I
Y'all
might be.
Who
communist.
communist? Dar-
You, Chief Holiday, Tayshawn, Darvis, y'all communists. I'm serious.
no,
I
Y'all,
might be.
y'all, y'all are communists.
We do
Y'all are
no,
concrete.
just
ma'am.
like what's his name?
That's our
Jim Home
goddamn
Use. I
trade.
don't know. What's
If
that
my
man
one of
name?
my daughters go
No,
find
ma'am.
a man
Concrete.
out there, that nigga better know how to do concrete
You
to
just
learn how
got
to
three
learn that
men on the
motherfucker.
panel. Hey, Sister Betty, you actually got three actual
Mhm.
men on the panel. That's just it.
I'm
Like
not
we
doubting
not
that.
going. We not going. Get in
I'm
that
not
kitchen.
doubting that.
My
Tayshawn, I'm
grandkids
old
don't
enough to
got
be his
my
grandmother.
grandkids. They
Hey,
don't have to
Sister
worry
Betty,
about
get in that
decide what they
kitchen.
want to be when
You
they
know
grow up.
what I'm
They
saying?
already know what they gonna be when they grow up. I'm gonna tell
Hey,
them what they gonna be when they grow up.
I ain't wanna well yeah, get in that kitchen. All that talking. Jackie Chan can't make you do nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is
You know what? I'm gonna
this
get
is
my
King
Asian friends
Kong
to
over
come
here.
up
We
on the
not
panel.
doing
I'm
none of
not
that.
letting y'all on the panel.
You should ask them, can women smoke in Korea?
Yeah, they can. I see it all the time.
Nah, man, we got
Smoking
the best
cigarettes
woman
and
on the
drinking
planet Earth.
coffee.
You crazy.
Um,
We is never
I'm
trading y'all
talking
in.
I'm talking South Korea.
I
South
don't
Korea.
care if
They're
North
a
Korea,
republic.
South
They're
Korea,
colonized.
North Pole, South Pole. We got the best on the earth, on this sphere, on this plane, whatever you believe in. We
South
got the
Korea is
best
damn near
woman
America anyway.
on the planet. Period. Yeah.
Japan,
Everybody.
beautiful.
I would like to believe that the majority of our women got their minds right. I just like to believe that. I really would. Tayshaun.
I got my damn mind right. It's just that I have a preference on and standards on who I actually will allow into my life. And it
I
took a
can't
long
wait to
time to
see you
get
with Jack.
there.
That'll be great.
Look,
I'll tell
why
you
you
one
want to
thing.
see me with my
Next time y'all have one of y'all powwow down here, you better not bring that nigga down here.
look? You're not gonna do nothing to my friends.
I want to
You
know.
don't
I
have
want
the
to know all the
authority,
ancient
Darvin.
Chinese fried rice secrets. How y'all get y'all fried rice?
Speaking of that, I went
Y'all
to
already done stole our chicken.
yesterday.
So yeah,
Yesterday I went
we
to
want it back.
the Chinese buffet. Oh my god. I sat there and ate so many crab legs. I had 2 big bowls piled up with crab legs. And I had stuff all on my face.
Yesterday's
It's
crazy.
messy when you eat crab legs. I did look, they should have gave me some damn newspaper, but I sat at that table and tore them damn crab legs up with butter at Chinese buffet. The lady came over and gave me a hug. She was like, the Chinese lady. She gave me a hug. Look, I have that effect on people. I do. And you
She was
know,
blessing all them
Chinese people
crabs
don't
you
hug
murdered.
no Chinese people don't hug no damn body. But when I walk up in there, they hug me. You know, I'm a special kind of person. Now,
Yeah, they ain't real Chinese people. They Chinese Americans. They doing business in America. And you buying
no,
all
they
them goddamn
actually
crabs.
don't. No, they don't really speak English all that good. So I know that they're definitely from China. I do. I do know that.
Why they gotta come here though?
Asians, period. Asian people, period. And you know what? People from in the gas stations, like people from India and people from the Arabs, they're always conversational with me. I just connect with them.
They're pandering. It's called
They
pandering.
You know what?
they're looking for a green
You a little
card.
hater. Yeah, you know what? Tayshawn's a little damn millennial. You and
No,
Mook
because
go kick rock.
it's
Hey,
because
but
it's like why don't they set up these businesses in their homeland? Why they gotta come here and do that?
Oh,
Because
why
we
don't
have
of
they let us
course
set up
laws.
they
business in
gonna
their
hold.
homeland?
We got the best woman. So why would your skin, your hair,
I can't
everything
stand
is
Steve
better? So
Holiday.
why
Oh
wouldn't they want to
God.
flirt? Why wouldn't they want to get your money and do all of that or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Y'all sound like 380. Y'all sound like 380-year-old men.
3 8 year old men. Hey, but listen though. Yeah, I
80,
don't really care about
80,
that though.
80, 80.
I don't
Jarvis is
even
old fashioned as
I
hell.
don't care about that.
Tayshawn is from the ancient days, and so is Chief Holiday. Y'all act like
No ma'am.
ancient old
I'm a
men.
time traveler. Hey, so listen, I really don't care about that
I
because
think
they
you
don't
guys are
compete.
stuck in like 1860.
They can't compare, they can't compete with us, so I don't even care about that. I'm never even worried about that. Like that's not even a thing for me.
You
So
can't do
but when we
karate better
talking
than Bruce
systematically,
Lee.
everything that's going on, huh?
You can't do karate better than Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee wasn't even a real fighter. He was just an actor.
A
I
dancer.
whoop Bruce Lee ass. We still the best fighters on the planet. So,
Absolutely, always have been.
right now today. we
I seen
it's not
Chinese
by
people
theory, that's
beating the
by
shit.
actual
I seen a Chinese.
hand-to-hand combat.
I seen
Huh?
Asians in gang fights, and they just as crazy as niggas, just like them Laotians. I swear, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think they Laotian. I really think they black men because the way they
Well,
fight.
listen, I don't have no
But they
problem with
originally were
nobody.
black.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with anybody.
And they have our features. Chinese people have our features. They look
Because
just
every
like
now and
us.
again, the men will
Chinese,
pick up a couple of
Japanese.
people across
I
that
don't care
fence.
what you say. They have our
So, are you
features.
talking culturally? Are you talking culturally though, Sister Betty?
I said features. They have our features. Chinese people do not have European noses. Their noses is flat, just like ours. I keep telling y'all that. Y'all just
Well, it
look at the
depends
color
on
because you're
which.
so color
It
struck.
depends on which Europeans that they
Chinese,
mix
Japanese,
with.
Laotians, all of them, they look like us.
But they still
Seriously.
come from a nigga stock though,
And a
right?
matter of fact, they are
Everybody
notorious
do.
for taking skin. They're notorious for taking skin whitener, and this is straight from Asian girls. They're
So Sister
notorious for
Betty, have you
taking
heard
skin
about
whitener.
the people over there getting dolls that are copper that are brown dolls, right? And they're abusing the dolls, right? So now they've taken it a step further, and now they're abusing. Not in America. They're not doing this in America, y'all. They're doing this in Africa, abusing babies. This is a thing that's really going on right now.
I
In
have not
where you
heard that.
talking about in Asia, they're abusing actual dark kids,
I haven't
babies.
heard that, Chief.
I mean, we know this is happening. This is
I
things
have
that
no proof of that.
we're gonna get into.
There's rumors. I don't believe in rumors.
They're
I
happy to
don't,
do it
Chief.
on
I'm
camera.
sorry.
They're doing it on camera. They say they had to take it a step further. They got the little dolls. The dolls is the craze. They stretching the dolls out, abusing the dolls. They said, man, we want to take this a step further. In Africa, they're not doing this here.
Oh.
And listen. I don't know what y'all got going on over there and wherever this is going on at, but wherever y'all letting this happen at, no baby should be getting abused by nobody. Nobody should be abusing babies no kind of way.
No.
There's no color thing. This is the right and wrong thing. I'm sending all the positive
Chief.
vibrations to you. Wherever this is happening at, it needs to stop right now, today. No men,
Chief
nobody
so
should be
bad.
allowed nobody to do this to babies. Nowhere. I mean,
Yeah, because R. Kelly should have been canceled. Carl Malone should have been canceled. I can go on and on and on. And our people supported them for years.
I'm just saying though, this is right or wrong. I don't care if it was people of color abusing.
I'm done
pale
with you,
babies.
Tayshaun. I
I'll
can't
be having the
stand
same
you.
energy for you. Something should happen to you. Yeah, I'm not for none of that. Babies are innocent. Why are you abusing babies? Why would you have a doll to abuse it? So this is a craze that they got going
terrible.
over in Asia.
That's a very
right now. You can
terrible,
look it up.
terrible thing.
Yeah. Once again, I dare you to do it in America.
I can't stand.
We already pissed the fuck off, y'all. So I promise y'all, don't leave.
We don't
us
do
the fuck
those
alone.
kind of things
Stop
here.
trying to put us in
We
shit.
don't do those
It's some other
kind
shit
of
I
things
wanna say
here in
too,
America.
Betty. I don't want to. It's bad.
Yeah, they do.
No, don't say it. Don't say it. I can transfer everybody to your channel.
Right
You can say all the bad stuff you want.
No, I'm just saying. I just tell y'all, sisters, brothers, be careful, be safe, and as AP say, stay fucking dangerous. Fuck is you talking about? People abuse weak people, low hanging fruit, but it's getting bad out here right now. So do not go nowhere by yourself. Please be careful.
No, I stay carrying my gun, so I will defend myself if I have to with my gun. I'm serious. Only if I have to. I don't. But if I'm being attacked,
Nobody
I'm
has the
going
right
to
to put
defend
hands on
myself.
nobody. And did nothing to you.
So
I don't believe in no type of violence, but self-defense. We have the right to protect our life. Please stand down. Please stop the bullshit. For real.
Okay. You took it somewhere it didn't need to go. Y'all so bad.
I'm just saying,
Y'all
that's where it's gonna go though. Like, you know what I'm saying? These people over here, like, it's bad. Like, when you see that, you're gonna be like, well, I can't say like it would just nobody would condone that. I'm not condoning it, but niggas will do it. So we'll be on their ass just like we're gonna be on y'all ass. The fuck?
Well,
Wherever this happening at, why y'all allowing some people to abuse babies? Why?
okay, Chief. We're not even
No,
talking.
it's
That
just a
wasn't even
simple
a
question. I
topic
need
for
to ask
today.
that. I just need to know the answer to that. Who's ever doing that? Why would you allow that? And I seen something that's so
It's
crazy. I was like,
603. Shout out to all the people. Chief, it's 603 people literally watching. And I know,
peace to
based on
them.
my audience, it's mostly political people and people that I teach. I teach all communities how to navigate through the federal system. That's what I do. And I can do it publicly because I'm media. So they're not in tune to this type of conversation. I share a lot of people that Candace Owens have in her audience. So I'm just keeping it a buck. You know, we need to stay professional, and
America
it's
first.
everything is gonna. I think everything is gonna be okay, and it's gonna fall into its place. Whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen naturally. We one thing we have to do is we have to stand on our country, and I love our country. I love United States. I love America. Period. And I'm for the people. Yes, as a people, have we been harmed? And our ancestors been harmed? Yes, a lot of us. Am I a fool to sit up here and say racism doesn't exist today? I'd be a damn fool to say it's not true. Hell yeah, racism still exists. Bigotry, all kinds of things still exist. But the one thing I do know is we're not the only ones being harmed by this government. There are a lot of us. Time they do something that lessens the things in our life, we're all being harmed. And harm from a government has no color. It affects all of us. So it is what it is. I think that's why some things I just fold on when you get my age. I'm not into that Black Panther attitude because we don't need to do that today. Now, do we have issues in our community? Yeah. I think, and I can honestly say this, out of all the people on the planet, our people are the only ones that don't stick together. That's a problem. Our people are the only race of people that don't stick together. Every
Because
other
our
race
women,
does. And I think
because our
that's
women
where our
don't like us.
focus. I think I think that's where our focus needs to be is getting our communities to come together and do things positively and civilly. We don't stick together and we focus too much on other races. We need to focus on ourselves and fixing ourselves and raising our
Well, that's what
children
I'm saying.
right.
We're trying to get some copper love over here. We need copper
Okay,
babies and
y'all
get these
saying
Trump
that.
accounts kicking off. Shout out to everybody. Hey man, shout out to the Trump administration for retroactively giving Trump accounts to children that were born in 2025. So shout out to President Donald Trump. Salute.
Actually, all any child under 18 can get one.
Y'all need to get to making babies. Everybody need to be getting making babies.
Man, I got
All
one that's
that y'all
still
talking about
17. You said
life
everybody
matters.
get one?
I'm a pro-lifer. Shout out to all the pro-lifers.
Yeah, they 18 and under, they can get one. If they were born in 2022 or something like that, 25, they get $1,000 when you open it.
Word.
20. Yeah, no, I got Popeye's chicken up in here. So let me turn my camera off. And guess what? They got this in Korea.
So
You said there's a Muslim for real.
I don't believe in race
What?
and I don't believe in hate. So that's just me. But I do understand people. Some people do like believe that and get into that. And I'm not me personally, but we have to tell the truth. But that's just what it is.
I think anybody that's really 40 people, like everybody should be, will be considered a racist. You ain't go to Korean restaurant and see black people working there. They fuck with their own people. They do business with anybody, but they keep their own people tight. You can't knock that. Every nation in the world does that, but us. We the only people that don't fuck with our
But
people.
hold up.
So okay, so what do we? So why don't we support
There's black people that work
the
in the
people that
Chinese
are building
restaurants
them?
down here.
Say what now?
Excuse me.
Well,
Excuse me. See, the problem with Tayshawn, you and Chief, y'all live in the South. Here in the North, the people that look like me that work in Chinese restaurants. Facts. There are people that
yeah,
look
but
like me that work in
everybody in the North is from
Hold
the
up.
South.
Hold up.
Why?
Ain't none of y'all niggas indigenous in the North.
But wait,
That's
wait,
not
wait,
true.
wait, 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 wait. Wait. Hold up, y'all. My family was burned off in 1928, and they migrated to Connecticut in 1929. I don't know Southern culture like that. But here where I am, people that look like me work in Chinese restaurants. They cook collard greens and everything. They got
You
Chinese
get college
all you
meal at a
can eat
Chinese restaurant?
buffets. Yes. They cook soul food in that bitch. Look, Chinese
In a
people
Chinese restaurant?
cook our food. They fry chicken. Hell yeah. That's what I'm trying to
Damn.
understand, y'all. In the South, this is the difference between North
Hey,
and
Sister
South. Is
Betty,
what I'm
that's
telling
just so they
you.
don't want their kids
Wait,
to work it no
hold
more.
up.
They don't have to work it no more, Sister Betty.
Their kids do
They don't have
work
to
in
work their
there.
restaurants no more. It's not
Their
nothing
kids
that.
work in their restaurants too.
That's cool.
Their kids work in their restaurants too.
Where
I
are
remember when I
restaurants?
walked in a Chinese restaurant. See, y'all in the South, we have different views. And that's why we can't connect. It's difficult for us to connect with Southern folks. I don't see life like a Southerner. I see life like a Northerner. I'm always grew up around culturally people. I grew up around Chinese people, white people, all races. The South is very different. That's why we
Very.
can't
Right.
eye to
Okay.
eye.
We didn't go to school with a lot of diversified people. That's true, right? But I feel like that we can learn from each other, though, Sister Betty. See what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel that way too, because if I didn't, I wouldn't lecture. But the problem is, Chief, y'all don't know how to accept things. Like when I said I love Asian men, okay, y'all got a problem with that. You can't do that to me. You got to
No,
respect it. You don't have to
accepted
accept
that.
it. Y'all attacked me on the panel because I
Nope,
said I'm a Asian man. Yes, you did. You're like,
I didn't.
why you talk about black guys? Well, I ain't say not one negative word about black men. I said I am attracted to Asian men. And y'all
He
had a
did
fit.
say something
And I'm
negative,
like,
though.
first of all, I'm old enough to be his mother, so he could just shut his little butt up because that's how little millennials are. They think that they're somebody's father. All millennial men think that way. And that's Tayshawn. He's Mookie's age, and he never gonna be quiet because that's Tayshawn. Darvis is my age, so his ass is
Big Daddy.
old fashioned. Darvin's like an 80-year-old man, and so are you, Chief. We are from the same generation. Me, you, and Darvis. Darvis is a Generation X, so Darvis has old fashioned thoughts, just like you, Chief. You're old fashioned.
I'm not old fashioned.
We were raised by boomers. Yes, you are. You are not modern
No,
day. You are very
I'm
old
just a
fashioned.
man.
Even the way you
I
say
don't
you're
think a
gonna beat
man should
somebody
never
up,
be out of
you
fashion.
probably still snatch your shirt off when you get ready to fight.
Nope.
That used to be my signature move in high school.
Sister Betty. So listen, I don't feel like, and I don't think
But
that you feel like a man, because this is the conversations that men should go out of style. It should always be men, correct? Standing for something
yes,
and not accepting anything. We don't accept shit. Men don't accept nothing, and we're not listening to nothing. Period. Not real men. We got a lot of people that's
I
gonna say
second
they,
that.
but not us, not these men. And that might be old fashioned, but it that's the problem right there.
You know what I think the issue is, man? Not that our culture is so much different than the northern culture, but we all different. This is the root of everybody down here. And when we go up there, we leave the root
Very different.
and go up there amongst a bunch of Gentiles. And there's so many different cultures in one little area. And you go to school, all these different people learn all these different cultures. You kind of start losing a little bit of your original culture. So when you come back down south, you don't really quite understand your own people no more.
I've never lived in the South, Darvis.
Cool, I got you, but
I was
I know,
born
but
here.
I know, but you're not indigenous up there. Your people went up there.
Okay.
But you've been up there for 100 years, though.
I'm indigenous to the
Yeah.
Americas, first of all,
Yeah,
but
and I
I'm
agree.
indigenous to the North. I'm indigenous to the North. My grandmother was born
You're
here,
native to the north.
and she's dead. She was born here in Connecticut. My grandmother was the first baby born here from them moving from 1929. My grandmother wasn't born yet. So we were all born here. Everybody else prior to my grandmother was born in South Carolina, Darvis.
Shout out to the Kakalaka, Carolina first.
But they were all dead.
But we
They're all
produced the north.
dead now. No,
Nah,
you didn't.
I'm sure you still
I'm
got
more like
family
a
in South
northern. I
Carolina.
think more like a northern. I do. I think more like a northern Indian. I'm more culturally connected. I was in northern Indian culture. That's why I act the way I act. Huh? I don't even speak like a southerner. Most like you have an accent. Cheese have an accent. I have a northern accent. I'm culturally like northern Indians. So I
So
only know northern Indian lifestyle.
I don't. I still don't. If we trying to
Oh,
get
taste
out of certain classifications, that's what this whole thing was about today, classifications and stuff.
Right.
Those come with mindsets too, right? You see what I'm saying? And we saying culturally, so you only, you're around certain people, certain things. So people in the Midwest have a different cultural experience than people on the West Coast, so on and so forth, right? Especially you've been there for 50 years, 100 years, or just your whole life. You know what I'm saying? That's all you know, right? But
Yeah.
we're dealing with the same systematic warfare, economic, you know what I'm saying? All these things that we point out that we're pointing out that comes from these things that we were pointing out today, right? How do we well, we understand awareness of it, right? Talking about it, but then taking it to the next level. If this is law and it's case law on this is, then being able to get remedy for this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get away from what we were talking about, but how this all connected to our mindsets today, though. You kind of see what I'm saying? What we taught in schools, things that you guys that taught differently in the North was not taught in the South. It's hard to because like we too connected to our people in the South. Like you still have cousins
I
and
can
stuff like that.
honestly
Probably
tell
in
you.
South Carolina. Huh?
I can honestly tell you that here in the North, and I was born here, our school system never taught us that we were Africans and slaves and our family came here on slave ships. They never taught that in our school system.
Yeah, that's the
As a matter of fact,
1990s.
I'm not speaking for the state of Connecticut at all, and I do not represent them. But Connecticut today recognize Indians, American Indians. They do. They do not give people a hard time. I could honestly say that, but that's all I can say. And I'm saying that in my private position,
Right.
not as a government employee. I'm saying it because I do see it. They're not mean to indigenous people, and that's a fact.
So, but they also in the school system didn't teach that there were governors prior to the first one that they teach of the state of
They ain't
Connecticut.
teach that.
Feel me? That is a
Huh?
whole government, right? I got a question for you, Sister Bethy and Darby. What happened to the Continental Congress?
They went bankrupt. They came back and set up the Constitution, a new charter, and they started doing business on the land.
That would be a good thing to talk about, Chief. But we gotta look up some stuff on it.
So I'm with it, but just think of it from this perspective. All they have to do is drop off Continental. It's all about branding, remarketing, repurposing, reincorporating. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like I said,
yeah,
a lot
but
of
see, but
things.
check it out.
Say that
In
again.
order for them boy to get out of those prior contracts they had with, say, Britain, the French, or whatever,
When did the
they had
contracts
that
change,
business.
Darvis? When did the
Huh?
contracts change?
I
Legally,
got you. When they went bankrupt,
it
when the
never
Continental
changed, brother.
Congress fell, and a new Congress came about under the
No,
Constitution.
no, no.
The
It's not
Constitution
new
charter
Congress. It's
started.
just the Congress. It's just
Yeah, I know,
it's
but
just they not. It's the same thing.
yeah, I
Nothing's
understand what you're saying.
changed.
I understand before that status go Congress. I understand that, and was also adopted inside because it's a business structure, it's political structure. You have to have a Congress. But what I'm saying is this though, when they came up with the Constitution, that new charter, it was something different. It was a business. That prior business and those contracts that was,
So
I
wait,
mean,
wait,
that
wait.
they had to adhere to,
So we have
all
one here
died.
for. Just hear me out, Darvis. If we have
I'm
one
listening.
here, right? So in the 1600s, we're assuming that this alphabet that we currently or have now in the 1700s was existed. This language in this form, we were speaking Latin here, a form of
Yeah,
Latin, people,
yeah.
right?
But the Latin and the
Which
English
is
alphabet
which
still
is
the same though.
which is which going back to what Sister Betty was saying, which I wanted to I forgot to talk about it, and I think it's a whole nother lane. When you go into federal court, everything translates back to Latin because it has to go back to the
Everything,
language and the color of law, which is the law,
everything that's
the
natural is
language
in
of
Latin.
land is of this land is Latin, coast to coast, Latin.
Everything that grow on this land it has a Latin name. Every medicine you
Absolutely.
use has a Latin name. Every law has a maximum of all law is Latin. I got you. I understand that. And I
Okay.
agree.
So with that being said, right? With that being said, we talk about the language, and then going back to that, right? When these people burn stuff down and rewrote stuff the like the censuses and all these other things, they rewrote it in this
I'm talking
form
about
of
time. I didn't mean to cut
English.
you off. I didn't mean to cut you off,
Yeah.
okay? I have a quick question though. Do
Yes,
you
sir.
subscribe to the census?
I don't
I'm curious.
subscribe.
Like, do you
No,
subscribe?
we shouldn't be on
My
none of
man,
that.
say no more.
Absolutely
Cool, cool.
not.
Say no more.
No.
I got you. Keep on going.
I do.
I don't subscribe with honestly.
Even though you know it's a
It
facsimile.
holds no law. It has no status. It's not even real.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
a United States
I don't take
citizen.
nothing that they have on a piece of paper real. Nothing. Other than the evidence of this crime that you committed by enumerating us, by taxing us, by
And
by
that was the whole. Yeah, that was the only
classifying us,
purpose
then
of that shit,
reclassifying us,
man.
reclassifying us. That's a
Yeah,
crime. Those are
it's just
crimes.
an audit, man, that the company did. They try to see what kind of taxes they supposed to expect, and that's I mean something that's done in all nations. That's how they back their dollars and shit like that. Their money, whatever. By the amount of
So
taxpayers you got.
so
Now we come back, we using shit. I think
so
sometimes the wrong way because we do know for a fact that those are not the original so-called census, and if we know that, that means those shit had to been redone, rewritten, or revised. And
right,
if it
which
was
has
that,
nothing to do
then
with
that takes away from the
law.
status. Exactly. It
Right.
ain't nothing to do with law.
Right. It has nothing to do with law. And I think, like I said, shout out to Sister Betty in the Copper Color Chronicles. Can't wait to that issue come out. That's gonna be crazy. Um, going back to that, like it's we don't have to uh, go to, like this is already there. Like we don't have to be on the Dolls Road. Not people be like, oh, I got to get on the Dolls Road. Like, what are you talking about? We've already debunked that
No, you
stuff.
don't.
That stuff is not for you. And listen, tribe only means family. We're talking family law. 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation is only family law. Has nothing to do with being slaves, man. And all this Juneteenth hocus pocus and all this bull crap. Come on, man. We gotta stop being so emotional.
And that shit really ain't been nothing but a fucking speech. And use the back the 18th Amendment. Excuse me, the 14th Amendment and 13th one. Emancipation Proclamation is just a speak in public.
Oh,
it ain't
Jarvis, you
what
gotta
people
cut
what they
YouTube
narrative.
off.
Say, Sister Betsy, you breaking up. Say that again.
Oh, am I still breaking
My
up?
bad. I said
No,
I said the emancipation. I said the Emancipation Proclamation is a public speech. That's what it means. It wasn't law. They used that speech to help push in debates in Congress that 14th and 13th Amendment. And then what it did is take everybody, especially those that recently freed, and set them up where they can be taxed.
So
Some people
so
made trustees over land trusts. Like they send them over there as trustees to keep the land up, so they constantly get the resources out of the land.
hey Darvis, do you
Yeah,
believe that we were slaves in North America?
no,
Okay.
I do. The word don't
So
mean that. I do.
so
Once you know how to read, you realize the shit don't make no sense. I do. A misunderstanding. Somebody who didn't,
wait, who
Who's
say
that in
they
the
do?
background saying I do?
whatever. That's my cousin, man. And we still slave. And we still slave. He from up north, man. You got to work with him. Nah, nigga.
I'm from the north.
Yeah, you should work
Darvis, you
with him,
might need
man.
to educate him, brother.
The nigga older than me, he don't listen. Peace, Queen. This nigga came down here talking about
Peace,
we were
brother. He
fucking
sound old.
slaves from Africa. And
Oh
nigga
no, we're
still
not
sit on his own
from
family land.
Africa.
Yeah, that's crazy shit, man.
He sound like he an
I just
unemancipated Negro
I'm
over there.
done with this.
What is happening? Peace to the brother though, man. Hey,
I'm a man of the world, God. See what I do with niggas like this, right? I handcuff the ass to the goddamn chair. But you can't handcuff them. And throw this shit on the motherfucking big screen like we is, and make them listen to it, nigga. You can't
I
handcuff me.
mean,
Y'all
You
are a
can't
hot
I
mess.
handcuff me,
mean,
Y'all are a
God.
hot mess.
I mean,
And change the mother and give a nigga another way of looking at things. Can I ask you a question, yo? Can I ask you a question?
yes, sir.
Do you have knowledge of self?
I didn't hear that.
Do you have knowledge of self?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is your registered name, God?
You said what's my registered name?
Actual fact, God. These are your registered name. You heard me.
I'm Supreme Chief
Who?
Holiday.
Supreme Chief Holiday.
Yes, sir.
Lord Chief. Supreme Chief Holiday, nigga. Lord Chief people.
Hey.
Master Chief.
Master Chief what?
Master Chief, yeah.
Who's your enlightener, God?
What'd you say? I didn't hear that.
Who's your enlightener? Who's your enlightener, God?
What's my enlightenment? I would say like 89.
I beg your pardon?
88, 89.
No, God. I asked you who is your enlightener. Your enlightener is
Well,
the
my
guy who
enlightenment.
the guy who gives you knowledge of self, God.
Well,
Amani. Oh
my
man, I didn't
enlighteners
know
is
Amani was in here.
my
Oh God, how
grandparents.
did I miss Amani?
Yeah. And your name is what again, God?
Supreme.
Wait till Sean go.
So you know anything?
Show him
Hold on. Do you know anything? Do you know anything about the history? But about the history of the 5% nation of the God's name, God?
Yes, sir.
Who's the founder father, God?
Of the nations of God and earth, brother.
Actual fact, God.
Clarence, 13X, brother.
All right.
Oh, hold on. So listen.
No, hold on, God.
I got you, brother. Listen.
Hold on, God. Hold on, God. Hold on.
I'm well
Hold
versed,
on.
brother.
See, no. Hold on. You know I'm going to take you there, God. You know I'm going to take you there, right?
I promise you. I'm past that.
All right.
I'm past all of that. I'm past
let's talk.
lessons. I'm past all
of
that,
right.
brother.
So you know the 9 born, the first 9 born, you know all of that, right?
Past that. I'm past religion. I'm past
any
of that.
And your name is what again?
Supreme.
So you don't know the God you don't know the God knowledge born? Oh
yes.
Do you know the God do you know the God knowledge born? Oh yes. Let me explain it to you. Do you know the God
Master, you God Allah.
Noble Drew?
Master God, you Allah. Master
Nah,
God, you Allah.
Okay, y'all going, y'all taking the segment in a
Hold
whole
yeah,
on, boo,
different
yeah.
boo. Hold
Hey,
direction.
on,
brother,
boo.
brother, let me ask you a
Hold on,
question.
boo.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Within Clarence 13X, who came from the Nation of Islam, right? within those
Where is
lessons, right?
Sultan?
Are we the original people in the hills of North America?
Sultan
Yes or
left.
no?
Yeah, we are the original motherfuckers on the fucking
No, no, no,
planet
no, no,
Earth.
no, 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 no. I was specifically
Hey,
what I
watch
said.
your mouth.
I was specifically
Uh, pardon my French.
elder.
Uh,
I
well,
was
like I'm 60
specific.
years old, man.
Hills of North America. Yes or no?
Okay, I got
Yeah,
such a people watching. You got to
yeah,
stop
actually,
cutting.
the black man from North America.
It's black
Are
man
we the
from North
original?
America. We from original from the planet Earth, God, but we from everywhere.
No. But I'm saying though, do
No,
the lessons
no, but
that
we
you
from every.
subscribe to say that we are the original man of here in
Yes,
the
we are the
hills of
original
North
man.
America? I got you. The
Yeah,
hills of North America. Yes or no?
yeah, wherever. Let me ask you a question, right? The first Indian that they showed, what color was that, pardon my French? What color was that guy? The first
The
Indian never
the
shown.
the Indians are
Hold on.
Negroes,
Yeah,
brother. Indians are Negroes.
yes.
The
So
Indians and Negroes are interchangeable.
when Columbus discovered over here,
Columbus is a fairy tale. He didn't exist.
no, he did
They made
exist.
him up
He
as
did
an act of
exist.
Congress.
No, he actually did exist. No, I
No,
mean,
sir.
no,
No,
man,
sir.
listen here. He did
No, sir.
exist. He was a clown, but he tried to make it, you know what I mean? But,
No.
he
He didn't
did exist.
exist. Like they made him up as
No,
an act of
no.
Congress, as a mascot in the
But
late
the first
1800s.
person he found, but the
So
first person
Christopher Columbus and the doctrine of discovery and all that's fake. It's not real.
did you got documentary on that?
I could point you to the Library of Congress.
Uh, all right. Um, uh,
But I'm the source of this information right now. I can point you some other books, the myths that made America. They talk about that in there. How they made
you
up
got to
Christopher
know. So what
Columbus
you
or
saying?
the
No,
excuse me.
this is what I'm telling you, guys. What you
Yes, sir.
saying is some. What you saying is some groundbreaking information. You know what I mean? That information, I will have direct information directed to the motherfucker who want to know. You know what I mean? Like who want to know that? You feel me? I want to say, oh, you gotta do this and go there, and you gotta go through a hurdle and all that bullshit. You feel me?
No, yeah,
You feel me?
I can give you
All
some
right,
references, but you can refer them to
hold
me.
on. Pardon my French, man. Pardon
No,
me,
it's all
'cause
good. I
I'm an
understand that.
ignorant
So let's
dude. You
get
know what I
back to
mean?
the
But like
slavery conversation.
yeah,
Let's get back to
yeah.
slaves. Let's get back to that.
No,
Let's get back to that.
bro,
So
like,
so
hold on,
so so
bro, we
uh,
was slaves.
not at
We were
all.
slaves. Hold on,
Not at all.
God. I mean, we should, God. Can I show and prove to you that we were slaves and we still slaves?
How
Can I show
show
and
me
prove to
you.
you?
No. Show me you was a slave.
No, you can't show and
Your
prove to
family
me,
was
God.
slaves. Show me
Yeah,
that.
I'm just saying, God. I'm I'm part I'm part of the one who revealing the truth. I'm not the one who hiding the truth or the one who don't know the truth. You know what I mean, God? I'm not those people, God. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm
I
very
got you, but
hold
we
on,
have
God.
been miseducated
Hold on, God. No,
through this
no.
system.
Hold on,
I
God.
got you.
You God. I'm I'm
But
very hold on, God. I'm very knowledgeable. You hear me? I'm a
okay, I
very
got you.
high ranking. You God, listen there. I had knowledge of self since 19 Jesus Christ. Since since 1980 89, God, I done walked the land with some of the greatest builders, God. You feel me? So when you build with me, hold on, God.
I get you.
Hold on.
I got you.
Hold on, God. So when you build with me, God, please know and understand, God, that you gotta know what the fuck what you talking about, God. Pardon my French.
I got
You know
you.
what I mean?
Um,
All right,
yeah. I
all right.
mean, I'm like I said, this the next level of
Oh,
knowledge, supreme knowledge. You
and
know what
by
I'm
the
saying?
way, God,
Huh?
my righteous name is Intelligent Black Mind, God Allah. But they call me IBM for
Okay.
short. You feel me?
I got you. So
Yeah,
IBM,
yeah.
IBM,
True, God.
right?
Peace, God.
Ain't heard that
Yeah.
in a long time. So
Hey,
we want to
God, nigga,
upgrade your
nigga, I just heard that the other
floppy
day.
disk, right?
I just heard
To
it.
I got you. We're gonna upgrade you over here, brother.
All right, upgrade me, guys.
all I'm saying is that I'm up for knowledge, but it can't be from 89, 90. I'm in the 2050s with this information when we're talking about, but I'm also in the past. You follow me? So we're talking about information that we can use
God,
to
because that's a
change the
contradiction, God.
conditions of our
Hey,
people.
God, how
Yes,
how
sir.
can you say that you were into, but you also into the past, God? That's a contradiction, God.
I
You
mean,
know
I'm a
what
time traveler.
I mean?
Chief,
I'm a time
Chief,
traveler.
God,
Chief, excuse me.
God,
Excuse me, brothers. Excuse me,
yes,
brothers.
please let me
I've
talk to
been
you, miss, please, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Can I talk to you,
okay.
please? Yes. Because you might give me a better
No, hold
understanding
on
than what
one.
he did.
Okay, but that'll be on another segment. I've been on for 3.5 hours. I'm really ready to go and relax now. I've
Yes,
been on for
ma'am.
3.5 hours. My life is really supposed to be only an hour to hour and a half. But
True.
Chief, if you want me to, I can do a redirect to your channel if that's what you want to do and you want to continue with Darvis
No,
and his cousin.
Queen.
I set it up real
Queen,
fast.
listen to me, Queen.
Okay, I'm gonna do a
No,
redirect to
no,
Chief
no,
Holiday's channel.
no,
So
no,
this
Queen. Listen to me really low. I'm like,
I
whenever
I'm
Rama,
really
hold
done.
on. Whenever you ram my little cousin, you feeling me?
Little cousin.
Hey, you
Get
my
my
little,
goddamn phone.
hold on. Whenever you ram my little
Hey,
cousin,
he
right?
called you little cousin,
Hey,
Darvis.
I mean, but you let, you know what I mean? Like, you'll hear me, yo. All right?
Get my motherfucking phone, boy. I thought you a little cousin.
You're my little cousin. You're my
The
big
fuck you
cousin.
playing with me?
You my,
If you
nigga,
set
I'm over
something up,
this.
Chief, I can. You're setting it up now, Chief, and I'll
Yeah,
put it.
I'm about to get off and set it up real
I,
fast.
all right, and I'll redirect to your channel.
All right, give me like 5 minutes.
I gotta
So maybe 10.
redirect anyway. Yeah, I can't do anything until you set it up.
All right, so give me a minute. I'll do it real fast. All right, peace, everybody, man. Had a great time. Thank you, Sister Betty. Yeah, man, we opened up the
Okay.
channel. Some shit. I don't know. Let's see what we got going on. See if Darvis is gonna bring his big cousin
See if
through.
I still remember how Bap did this.
Nah, though, it's all good.
No, Bap
But if
taught me how
Darvis
to
is
do
not coming
this.
through, we ain't gotta do it.
I'll be there.
Yo, nigga, I'll be there, yo.
All
I
right.
promise you I'll be there, my nigga.
All right, so I'm about to set it up real fast, man. All right, I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, peace. Shout out to the Wire
Pray
Nation,
for the
man.
God.
Copper Color Chronicle, man. July edition, man. It's crazy. So
Pray for the goddess.
yeah, we're gonna
You
have to
set it
definitely
up, Chief?
go through that, huh?
You set it up yet?
No, I'm still in here with y'all. I'm about to set it up, though. I'll see you in a minute. All right, bye.
Set it. You got to set it up now.
Okay, I'm about to do it right now.
All right. As
All right.
soon as I see the thumbnail come up or whatever, I'll do the redirect because I got to copy the link. Hey, you guys, I'm gonna redirect you over to Chief Holiday's channel because you know he's a never-ending story. Damn, we got 600 or something people in here. Oh, 1,000 or something. Look at there. Wow. As soon as Chief set his up, I could do the redirect. You guys will be aware. So everybody, I could do this while he's setting things up. My next live is going to be lecturing on how to the contents of a federal lawsuit complaint. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I can't write it for you. I can only lecture. That's all I could do. I could teach till I'm blue in the face. But as an individual, I cannot represent you in court. I can't fill out legal papers for you. I can't do any of that. You have to do it yourself. Yep, that's a fact. but we're going to go over some very important cases that supports what we do. That's important. So I think the next segment will be going over those cases because it's a bunch of them. You're going to read the case, which stands behind what we're trying to do as a community. So that's going to be very interesting. And I think you guys will love it. And remember, all the segments that I do, they become the newspaper of the month. So we already have July's newspaper going up the first week of July. So when we talk about the holding cases at holding cases, the precedents, federal law that stands behind us, those are going to be interesting, and that'll be the August newspaper. So, Darvis, you waiting to be redirected? I think Darvis, you might have to click his actual link.
Okay, so he ain't got it set up yet then? All right, don't worry about it. I'll go.
Yeah, I don't think you. I think you'll be over there if you're like in the chat room.
I'm not in
You're
the chat.
in the
I'm on my
chat room
phone.
here. Oh no! If you get in the chat, like you're gonna talk to somebody in the chat room, like you'll be automatically put over to Chief Holiday's channel.
All right, I got you.
That's how you get over there. But being on StreamYard is different. You're on StreamYard, but if you go back in the chat room, you'll be directed to Chief. He's taking so long. Hurry up, Chief Holiday. I want to go and relax.
All right, so I'm gonna go back in the chat then, man. Peace to you, man. Peace to the panel, the movement. Peace to everybody
I'll
in the
be over
chat.
there, but I'll be laying down listening and laughing because I know Chief about to go in like he
No,
always
this nigga
do.
here, listen, dog. This nigga, you can't. I'll talk this nigga you 5% from the 30s.
You talking
Listen,
about
dog.
your cousin?
Yeah. These niggas, I mean,
Yeah, I can
well,
tell because you called him God.
well.
He's too funny. Come on, Holiday.
All right, but I'll catch you on the other side then.
Okay. You guys, I'm gonna play the music, but I'm still in the background here. When I'm gonna transfer, you guys are gonna be in Chief Holiday's chat room. So just hang tight and listen to the music, and you'll automatically be in Chief's Holiday. You got to give it though.